also known as the BZA. The board members that will hear your case tonight are as follows. My name is William Ray, and I am the chairperson. To my right, we have Mr. Truslow, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Neal. To my left, we have Mr. Nelson, and we should have the other board members, Ms. Smith, two Ms. Smiths, and Mr. Jordan should be arriving momentarily. We are a little earlier than normal, but everybody should be coming in momentarily. Staff members present tonight are Ms. Clark, Mr. Hare, Ms. Vache, did I pronounce it right? And Ms. Workin. And to my immediate right, our attorney for the BZA is Mr. Kevin Hugie. Because the hearing tonight is a public fact-finding meeting, we are in compliance with the Freedom of Information Act and South Carolina Code 6-29-70. 15 days prior to the hearing, an announcement was printed in the Post and Courier, and a sign was posted on or near the designated property, and a notice was mailed to the applicant or the applicant's representative, to the property owners within 300 feet of the property, and to parties of interest. Persons, organizations, and news media that have also requested declaration of our meeting have also been notified. Board members, the meeting notes for September 8th, 2025 of the public hearing were sent to you. Are there any changes? If not, can I get a motion to approve and a second?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And you second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Raise your right hand. Aye. Good. It passes. Our case rulings from this and any BZA meeting are available to the public. Review and inspection during normal business hours at the Charleston County Zoning and Planning Department. The Board of Zoning Appeals is a quasi-judicial body that has final decision-making authority on the following: appeals of a zoning-related administrative decision. The BZA is authorized to hear and decide appeals on a zoning-related matters where it is alleged that an error is in the order, requirement, decision, or determination made by the administrative official in the administration or enforcement of any zoning-related regulation. A 2/3 vote of the quorum is present is required to overturn the decision of the planning director in an appeal. We also have special exceptions. A special exception is issued by the BZA authorizing a particular use in a specified location within the zoning district upon demonstrating that such a use complies with all the conditions and standards specified in the Zoning and Development Regulation Ordinance, also known as ZELDAR. The BZA must find that a special exception request meet all 6 of the approval criteria in the ordinance in order to grant a special exception. A simple majority is required to grant a special exception. And then finally, we have a variance. A variance is a relaxation of the BZA regulation of the ordinance where such an action is not contrary to the public interest and where, owing to the conditions particular to the property and not the results of the actions or situation of the applicant, a literal enforcement of this code will result in the unnecessary and undue hardship, and such a variance is consistent with Section 6-29-800 of the Code of South Carolina and Title 6, Chapter 29. The BZA must find that the variance request meets all 7 of the approval criteria in the ordinance in order to grant a variance. A simple majority is required to grant a variance. Our purpose tonight is for interested parties to be heard in order to assist this board in gathering information and evidence that is pertinent to each case. If a member of the BZA finds a need for further information to clarify a case, the board has the authority to subpoena witnesses. It is understood that the rules of your neighborhood or subdivision are binding, and we can take no action that will neglect their jurisdiction over the property. In addition to your testimony, our board has been presented information submitted by the staff, by the applicant, or the applicant's representative for each case. This information is now considered to be evidence and is entered into the permanent record of this body. It is assumed to be complete, true, and accurate. In addition, we have been presented data assembled by staff for the purpose of clarifying the location, the application's effect on surrounding properties. Our board is empowered to approve with conditions, or deny a special exception or a variance request. We are also authorized to defer a case should there be a need to obtain additional information. The BZA's final decision will be mailed within 10 working days of the public hearing. It will be certified mail to applicants and U.S. mail to neighbors and community interests that is listed. If an applicant's request tonight is approved, the applicant should contact the Charleston County Zoning and Planning Department staff to discuss the next steps in the process. Variances and special exceptions granted this evening are valid for 12 months after this meeting, and a 1-year extension may be granted only if construction has been, if it has only been construction or development has been commenced or has been diligently pursued. However, if an applicant's request is disapproved and the applicant requests an appeal to be heard, a decision for this board concerning the case, appeals must be addressed to the circuit court. South Carolina Code 6-29-820 states that an appeal must be filed by the applicant within 30 days after the decision of this board has been mailed to them. Failure to file an appeal within this time limit deprives this court of its jurisdiction to hear a matter. Because this is a quasi-judicial body, everything said in this meeting must be complete, true, and accurate. All information provided to the BZA is considered evidence, and this board may certify contempt of circuit court if a false statement is made either in writing or verbally. Therefore, each person who wishes to address this body or this board will ask to be sworn in by the BZA secretary before providing evidence or testimony. In order to expedite this procedure, those wishing to speak to this board, we ask that you stand up as a group and Ms. Workin will administer the oath.
Please stand and raise your right hand. I will say the oath and you will say I do. I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Workin. I will now call each case by case number. Staff will present pertinent facts to each case, limited to 5 minutes. I would then call the applicant. The applicant will stand and state his or her name and current address for the record before presenting testimony pertinent to each case, limited to 5 minutes. I would then ask for all those speaking in support or in opposition to each case. They will also follow the same procedure for identifying themselves and are limited to 2 minutes. The applicant will then have a chance to reply to any opposition, limited to 2 minutes. And then the BZA will make a motion to close the case to the public. Finally, the BZA will make a motion concerning the application stating specific findings of facts and conclusion of law. Tonight, we will hear 10 new business cases. And the first case will be administered by Mr. Hare. Mr. Hare, if you would, please. Yep. Case BZA 08-25-00888.
The applicant and property owner, Zachary Winchester, is requesting a special exception to establish a short-term rental property extended home rental at 2173 Edisto Avenue, TMS number 343-0600094 on James Island in Charleston County. The subject property and surrounding properties are located in the low-density residential R4 zoning district. The property contains a single-family residence with 3 bedrooms that was constructed in 1964 per Charleston County records. The applicant would like to rent 3 bedrooms in a single-family home and will provide 5 parking spaces pursuant to the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance Zeldar parking requirements. The maximum number of guests allowed will be 8. The property is not owner-occupied, therefore the property is not eligible for a limited home rental and must be reviewed as an extended home rental in accordance with Zeldar requirements. This is the zoning ordinance section pertaining to the STRs in the R4 residential zoning district. The 300-foot radius map, the aerial, zoomed out aerial. We posted the property on September 17th of 2025. Here are pictures of the subject property, a single-family residence and its parking. Pictures of the single-family residence as well. Pictures of the adjacent property at Edisto Avenue. The site plan, tenant notice, and the plat. Regarding the 3 approval criteria, staff stated that it may meet criteria 1 through 3, and we did receive 1 public comment in opposition to this case. The Board of Zoning Appeals may approve the case. Approval, the applicant shall complete the STRP limited site plan review process. 2, the use shall comply with the requirements. And the property owner shall be responsible for ensuring that tenants comply with the Charleston County noise ordinance. Any questions?
Any questions of staff? Any on my left? All right, yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm not familiar with this area. Is it a subdivision? Is it just all, there's no HOA or anything like that, or?
No, sir. It's in Riverland Terrace. Yeah, right above Muni Golf Course.
Yep, okay, I know exactly
And
where.
they have to fill out a restrictive covenants affidavit stating that there's no restrictive covenants.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. Mr. Cole?
I had a couple of questions. I'm somewhat concerned about the parking, a provision for parking, and I'm also concerned about having 8 people in a 3-bedroom house. Do you know how many square feet this house is? I didn't.
Can you go back to the
Yeah.
drawing? Mr. Hare, pull that up for us, please.
I don't think it's stated in the
If there were
site.
6 people, I wouldn't be asking this question.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, this is all.
I don't think it's stated in the site plan or tenant notice the square footage of the property, but there's nothing in the ordinance.
I understand.
Yeah, with the number of
I
guests.
understand. I'm thinking about parking. I'm thinking about the impact on the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Can you tell me anything to indicate what are the sizes of the bedrooms? I mean, are there going to be a maximum of 2 people that would be in each bedroom? And to have the last 2 spill out into the living area or kitchen?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how they plan to lay out the bedrooms for the property. That might be a question for the applicant. Yes, sir.
And how about the parking? I notice on the street parking that they've done really the house looks very nice, and they've provided within the right-of-way parking, but that's available to anyone. Can you address how they're going to fit 5 cars into the driveway?
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see maybe on this slide, there is technically like a street parking right away. That does not count towards the amount of parking requirements needed for the short-term rental. It's 2 parking spaces per building, and then they have 3 bedrooms, so it's a total of 5 parking spaces that are needed.
You're saying in the carport there's 1, and then there.
So they put like right here. You can see like 2 of them or 3 that are like on the carport off the driveway, and then the 2 in the yard. We gave the applicant 3 options. There is a fence in the front. To remove the fence maybe to help, or revise the site plan, but that's the parking that stayed on the site plan.
I'm having some, I'm sure the applicant can deal with this, but I'm having some trouble understanding how it's going to look like a mini used car lot. And the whole front yard will be covered with cars.
So
The whole front yard.
that'd be a good question for the applicant.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Let's see what the applicant says.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Hare. Any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Hare. I appreciate it. Before we start and before I call the applicant, I just want to remind the audience that we do have monitors in front of us, so you won't catch us necessarily have to look behind us. Some of us do from time to time as a bad habit, but still yet we do have monitors in front. So at this time, is the applicant present? Very good. Would you please come to the podium? Please state your name and address for record, and please tell us why we should approve your application, sir.
Sure. Zach Winchester.
If you would speak into the mic, start over.
Zach Winchester, 1012 Fort Sumter Drive, Charleston 29412.
Thank you, sir. So please tell us why we should approve your application. You already have one good question here, so
Sure.
you roll that into your response, please.
Yeah, so I think that was the one question we went back and forth with Cole a couple of times, just the parking. Everybody, I lived there 6 years. We just moved out in January, and pretty much everybody on the street parks on the street. That's why we kind of we just did the new fence in the front and made like the nice landscape and hardscape parking for the house. And we know that, with that, we can easily fit the 5 cars because you can fit 3 in the driveway, including the carport. It's deeper than it looks. And we assumed they'd park on the street, and then we got the issue with the right-of-way. And we said, well, technically, as far as checking the box, there is no HOA. A lot of people do just park all over their yards in Riverland Terrace if you're familiar with the neighborhood. So, not including the right-of-way, there is room for 5 cars. In fact, on the left side of the house, you can drive a car straight down the whole side of the house. You can stack them all back there. It's not normal or practical, and I would assume that most people are going to use the driveway and the street parking. But, if you can park in the yard, technically according to the HOA, then you can fit a lot of cars around the house.
Okay. Let's see if anyone has, we have a question on the very end there.
Sure.
Thank you. So I can only speak for myself, but I'm sure there's going to be other questions about the parking and the density. So my hang up is I just don't think, based on your submitted site plan, that 5 cars fit there. So that goes back to, well, why do we need 5 cars? Well, it's 3 bedrooms and you have to have 2. So I understand the 5, but it looks like you're jamming the 5 in there. At the same point in time, my math's not real good, and I'm not an architect, but it looks like it's about 1,100 square foot house. And that's fine if you want to live in a 1,100 square foot house, but if you're turning a 1,100 square foot house into an Airbnb or a hotel, you're causing problems on the neighborhood. So I don't see how this plan works for my vote, unless you can come up with some different scenarios, or, hey, I can live with, even though there's 3 bedrooms in here, I can live with 1 of them being rented out, or maybe 2 of them are limited. But, it's just, you're trying to jam way too much in here. So you can address however you want. That's where I am.
We added on a few years ago. We renovated the house. It's about just under 1,300 square feet. I think it's 1,270 is the final square footage. And the bed, it's going to sleep. I think we're going to have 2 kings and a queen. And then obviously, we have children, so we're used to we wanted to put age so people could have a pack and play or something like that with babies if they're traveling. But for the most part, it'll have beds for 6 people. Which, unless everybody's driving their own.
If I may follow up, Mr. Chair, the application is for 8, so we have to figure out that it's 8, whether it's 8 kids, 8 adults, or whatever. So 8 is 8, and it just looks like it's too much. So I'm not going to be able to support it unless there's another reason or some other change that you're able to live with. But that's where I am right now.
Okay, and just to clarify, it's going to be based off of bedrooms either way. So even if it was 6 occupants, it would still require 5 parking spaces.
That's right.
Correct?
And that's why I said I don't think 5 cars fit on that front. I agree. I understand that people might park on the street, but we have to go by the ordinance and make sure there's space for it. And I can't live with that one currently.
Okay.
So, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Mr. Brown?
And I'm just going to add on to the whole parking question here, and maybe you can provide some clarification, because there was something about with the fence. But if I look at the pictures of the house, and you got your nice new fence with all that landscaping in front of it, that does not jive with the parking layout that you've got. You just can't maneuver those cars in a space with a fence in front of it. So is there something I'm missing, or that maybe wasn't clear on the drawings or the photos or whatever, to clarify how 5 cars are going to fit behind a fence and you can't drive over?
You can't, correct, but you could get the cars in there and they would fit. And short of, like you said, tearing down the brand new fence and landscaping, which we could, and we can make the whole front yard gravel like a lot of people do and park in it. I just think for the aesthetic, and I think the size house, I think there's a lot. I lived there 6 years, and we all drive big vehicles. We had an extra vehicle, and we've never had folks have a problem parking at our house.
The photo of the front, the one that you kind of showed us at the end with the fencing.
There
There you go.
Yeah. So here's the driveway, right? And I'm looking at it. And you've got 2 cars in the driveway that are all the way out to this point where we're kind of standing. We're standing behind 2 cars. and you've got two additional cars further away from us towards that side fence, and one parallel.
Yeah, basically one in the carport, two side by side in the driveway, and then two more would very likely park on the street if I was staying there. But if they, somebody was in the street parking, they could technically park right in the front yard, and Riverland Terrace can't tell you not to. So, that's kind of how we saw that. If we had to park in the yard, we could. If we had to tear down the fence, we could. But we have very nice landscape parking on the street, and I lived on the street 6 years, and nobody parks in front of anybody's house without telling them. They're very strict about it, so I know they're in the right of way, but between the driveway and the street, there's plenty of room for 5 vehicles. Or if they wanted to park in the front yard,
You're telling me that then I guess you would have to play the puzzle game where you're having to pull 2 or 3 cars out, pull one in, and pull
that's
it
why
out.
I parked on the street every night when I lived there, just not have to get out and move my car for my wife every morning. So it's just more convenient. Everybody parks on the street on that street pretty much.
Thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Neal?
And I forgot to ask the other question, which is about the management of the building. So I'm going to ask two pieces. You keep going back to when you lived at the house, and I agree. I don't think there would really be much of an issue if you lived at the house and played Monopoly with all the cars moving around and stuff. But when it's a hotel, basically, which is Airbnb, and there's not going to be somebody living at the house, it's just going to be whoever is in the house is going to have to be in charge. I think you're going to have more issues, and that's why it has to come in front of us. But go ahead and address how you're going to manage it, since it's not going to be owner-occupied.
Yep. So we've already hired a professional property manager that manages about 5 or 6 other homes in the neighborhood, and they actually live 2 streets over. So he said, I ride by your house on my golf cart every afternoon, so I'll make sure it's extremely well kept.
Are you advertising on Airbnb or VRBO or?
Not currently, no. We haven't.
You will be.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Truslow?
Thank you for coming, and I appreciate your application. Looks like you've done a very nice job with the house. You've got it landscaped. You've got a fence. I have the same problems that my colleagues are having with 8 people in a small house. I wonder about a couple of things. One was the parking. One was garbage. How often is the garbage picked up? Because 8 people, especially when it's a short-term rental, generate a lot more garbage, from my experience, than if it's someone living there. Tell me how that's going to be addressed. How often the garbage is being picked up? How many? Are there only 2 receptacles? One that goes to the MSW and one for otherwise?
For recycling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and obviously they'll probably be used on the weekends a lot. The garbage is picked up. The normal garbage is picked up on Monday mornings. But we have a property manager, so they're going to be paying cleaning fees. So I don't know if they're going to remove all the property the garbage after every stay, or if they just use the bin and know that it's probably going to get picked up likely the day after everybody leaves on a Sunday.
But there's only one can. I mean, there's one for the MSW, municipal solid waste, and then there's a second one. What does it only get picked up once every week, once every 2 weeks?
Yeah, it gets picked up every week.
For both of them?
Recycling's every other. Garbage is every week.
All right. Then my second question, I want to have you help us or have us help you.
Sure.
But if you, and this is not a negotiation, but have you considered making a request for limited to 6 and 3 parking spaces?
You have to have more than that.
Pardon me?
You have to have 5, I think, based on. That would be 5.
Okay.
Let's see if, let me move just forward. I thank you for that. Let me see if I can get a question down here on this end. Go ahead.
Mr. Winchester, thank you for your time this evening.
Sure.
Can you explain maybe to our board a little bit better the parking situation that we can't take into consideration in terms of your site plan, but how much room you have in between your fence line and the edge of the pavement for Edisto Avenue?
For outside of the fence?
Yeah, for outside of the fence.
I drive a 1500 truck and I can fit it off the road completely.
And so essentially what you're saying is, as part of this application, you have to be able to show 5 parking spaces own your property and you can't take into consideration off-site parking. But in reality, off-site parking is very easy to accomplish here, and we really don't need to worry too much about cars being parked in the grass in front of the house, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's
I'm comfortable with it. I've been in Riverland Terrace a lot. It is unfortunate the number of Airbnbs that keep popping up in the neighborhood, and I know there's neighbors that have some concerns over that, but by and large, I don't think we hear from staff about any complaints of the Airbnbs that operate in the neighborhood, and I think the plan is worthy of consideration. 5 parking spaces regardless, because it's a 3-bedroom house. There's really nothing that we can do about that. And, while 8 people would be tight in there, I doubt it's something that would occur very often. And even 5 cars showing up with any one group is probably something that's not going to occur for a house that's rented, 100, you're asking for 144 days out of the year, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. So appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else, Ms. Smith? No? Okay. Any more questions on my right? Okay.
Well, never mind.
Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
No, it's going to be a staff question. It won't be. Okay. Won't be as good answer.
Thank you so very much for your testimony.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone else to speak in support of this application? Do we have anyone else to speak in support of this application? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Very good. That's closed to the public. Board members, do we have any general discussion? Any questions, any questions of staff first? Mr. Brown.
Mention up here about the off-street parking. We can't count it, but yet it's available and part of the whole process. Can you explain anything about how that operates? So people coming here to visit will be able to use that parking? Like, can somebody, let's just say if somebody next door has a couple extra people over, would they take over the parking and then there not be enough room for everybody coming to this place? I mean, how does that work?
Well, the parking, the required, the 5 spaces need to be on the property.
Understood.
But yeah, they do have at least one spot that's gravel that will accommodate an extra car. But like you said, I think he mentioned that those are open to the whole neighborhood. Sounds like generally each house kind of uses their own, but it doesn't, I think that the adjacent neighbor could still use it because it's public. Does that answer your question?
I think so. Thanks.
Mr. Neal? You had a question for staff?
I have a comment for discussion. I don't have.
Okay. Any more questions of staff? Okay, let's roll into discussion then. Go ahead, Mr. Neal.
I understand the vice chair's comments, Mr. Nelson's, on you can take these into consideration, and I did. I just think between the 3 bedrooms and the parking, it's a little too much. I mean, I would be fine if the motion came out with reduce it from 3 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms. That's why I was trying to ask the applicant to see if there was any sway in his application, if he could change or live with it or something. I do appreciate the fact that it's only 144 days. He's hiring a professional property management, so I'm fine with all of that, all the normal concerns that we have. I just think we're putting a little too much in this with them not being owner-occupied and squeezing potentially 8 people there. If it was 2 bedrooms, that would be 4 cars. Basically, 3 clearly fit on the carport, and you put 1 out on the street or somewhere else. And so many people come now and don't even use cars. They're coming and using Ubers and stuff. So I don't really have a hang up. I just think it's too much altogether. So depending on what the motion is, that's where I'm going to be. But if it was 6, 5, 2 bedrooms, I'd feel a lot better. That's just where I am.
I'll take a stab at it too. I follow you, and I kind of agree with you as well. I don't like to see cars parked on grass, even though he could have concreted it all. But nevertheless, just like you stipulated, anybody can have a shot at that parking. They can have parties every weekend. I've had neighbors who had parties every other weekend, and they're parking in front of my house as long as they don't block my driveway. And it's free game. There's nothing you can say to them or do anything. And so that's going to really handicap him for doing business. And so I agree with you. Definitely not 3 bedrooms, but I can see 2.
Mr. Chair, if I may follow, I want to give the applicant credit for the upkeep of the house. I mean, the house looks very nice. He spent money, so that's why I'm giving him my leeway on everything I can. I just think it's personally a little too much, but I'm just one vote, so.
Well, here's the other thing that I would like to say. Whoever makes a motion, I think the way it might be going, he could have 2. You just put in a motion and see how the board flies with it, but then that's his consideration.
I would, if the board goes in that direction, which we are really not supposed to canvass one another for what.
No, I wouldn't canvassing.
The better solution would be to limit the number of people that occupy the site, which would automatically limit the number of cars that would actually park there.
Exactly.
And so I don't think you need to do that by limiting the number of bedrooms. You still have the 5-car parking problem, but a better solution would be to limit it to 6 people instead of to 8.
Yeah,
Personally, I'm fine with the application. I do a lot of Airbnb, VRBO rentals myself, and you just got to be discerning as that type of renter about what type of situation you're getting into and whether or not it'll handle your particular application. And we also need to remember that in the case of new VRBOs and Airbnbs, that the permit's only valid for a year. And if there are a significant number of concerns from the neighbors about parties or parking issues or whatever, the county doesn't have to reissue that permit at the end of a year. And right now we're speculating about things that have not occurred, and that's where I actually have the biggest problem with where we seem to be heading with this particular application.
Ms. Smith?
I guess I would just comment, it looks like there's a large gravel gap to the right of the house that possibly could be parked in if they needed to have overflow or to fit full 5 cars.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other general comment, discussion? Okay. All right, then, with that being said, can I get...
Chair, I'd like to make a motion, please.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion that we approve this application. That one, I find that this is a BZA case 082500888, that we approve the special exception for the short-term rental. That one, it is acceptable with the existing uses in the vicinity and will not adversely affect the general welfare or character of the immediate community. I think the fact that the applicant has hired a professional company to manage the home that lives nearby will actually alleviate a lot of the concerns that the board has expressed thus far. So I believe we meet that criterion. For criteria 2, that adequate provision is made for existing items such as setbacks, buffering, including fences, landscaping, to protect adjacent properties from possible adverse influence of the proposed use. The parking is the main consideration here, but given that there's overflow parking available on the street, I believe that we meet that criterion. And for criterion 3, that it complies with all applicable rules, regulations, laws, and standards of this ordinance, including but not limited to any use conditions, zoning district standards, and applicable SDRP site plan review requirements of this ordinance. The applicant has done a very good job of trying to put a plan together that would work for the neighborhood. So I believe we meet that criterion. In making this request, I would propose that we include all 4 of the conditions recommended by staff. That's my motion.
All right, do you have a second? Okay, you have a motion that's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Oh, yes, sir. Welcome.
I have a question for our attorney. Since I just walked in and didn't hear the case, should I abstain?
Me personally, I think you heard enough of the arguments
Okay,
to not abstain.
thank you.
Did you have a question? Mr. Neal?
Would Mr. Nelson take an amendment to his motion to limit the occupancy to 6, since I saw the applicant nodding his head that he was fine with it?
Yes, I would amend my motion to limit to 6.
And Ms. Smith?
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion that has been amended from 8 to 6. Any further discussion? All right, and I'll bring it to a vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye and raising your right hand. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it is unanimous. So, sir, your application has been approved with changes. Within 10 days, you'll be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Thank you so very much for coming, and congratulations, and good night to you, sir. All right. Our next case tonight is being done by Mr. Hare. It's case BZA 08-25-00889.
The applicant and property owner, Iran Maron, is requesting a special exception to establish a short-term rental property extended home rental in the low-density residential R4 zoning district at 518 Fleming Road, TMS number 340-03000092 on James Island in Charleston County. The subject property and surrounding properties to the west and the northwest are located in the low-density residential R4 zoning district, while properties to the east are located within the jurisdiction of City of Charleston. According to Charleston County records, the property contains a single-family residence with 4 bedrooms constructed in 2025. The applicant proposes to utilize the residence as an extended home rental by making all 4 bedrooms available for rent, providing 6 on-site parking spaces in compliance with the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance (ZELDAR), and accommodating a maximum of 10 guests. As the property is not owner-occupied, it does not qualify for a limited home rental. It must be reviewed as an extended home rental in accordance with ZELDAR requirements. This is the zoning ordinance section pertaining to the SDRs in the R4 residential zoning district. The 300-foot radius map, the aerial, zoomed out aerial. We posted the property on September 17th of 2025. Pictures of the subject property, a single-family residence and its parking. Pictures of the adjacent properties. Fleming Road, site plan, tenant notice of the first floor, tenant notice for the second floor, and the plat. Regarding the 3 approval criteria, staff stated that it may meet criteria 1 through 3, and we did receive 1 public comment in opposition to this case. The Board of Zoning Appeals may approve with conditions, or deny case based on the BZA's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following conditions recommended by staff. 1, prior to zoning permit approval, the applicant shall complete the STRP limited site plan review process. 2, the use shall comply with all requirements of Article 6.8. 3, this property shall not be used as a short-term rental for more than 144 days in aggregate during any calendar year. And 4, the property owner shall be responsible for ensuring that tenants comply with the Charleston County noise ordinance. Any questions?
Any questions of staff? Very good. Thank you, Mr. Hare. Is the applicant present? Very good. Please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record, and please tell us why we should approve your application. Please bring that mic closer to you, sir.
I'm Iran Maron. I live in 2245 Portside Way, Charleston. And where should I start? Do you have questions, or do you want me to?
Well, tell us why we should approve your application.
So the zoning allows a short-term rental.
It does.
Up to 144 days a year.
Yes, sir.
We are showing 6 parking spots on the property as required by regulation. And I think pretty much, that's all the requirements. If you have any questions, or I will say regarding the parking spots, listening the other case, I've been doing this for a living over 5 years. I have about 30 properties all over the coast. Anywhere from Charleston to Little River, houses from 4 to 8 bedrooms. We never had 4, 5, or 6 cars come for a 4-bedroom house, ever. That never happens. I know this is the way we need to show it, and I know some people, the person that sent the letter, complained about having 6 spots, but we had to show 6 spots. But I never had anybody come with 6 cars for a 4-bedroom house, and I've had over 5,000 bookings in the last 5 years. So that's my point.
How many bookings?
Over 5,000 bookings, around 30 properties.
Okay.
Just wanted to give you that aspect because there was this discussion about the parking.
Okay. Any other points? Anything else you want to tell us?
Yeah, in the letter, there's a active Airbnb right down the road on 554 Fleming Road. Started in 2022. Never had any issues or complaints. Good standing with the county. And that person that actually manages that property is going to help me manage the Charleston properties. And that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
The house is big, you know, we're asking for 10 guests. One of the rooms is a frog, so it's a really big bedroom. And it's got 2 kings, and it's a really big room. But no guests in the living room. That's a big no-no for us.
Okay. And how many square feet do you have?
2,100, close to 21 heated.
Okay.
It's a third of an acre, I believe. It's a pretty big property.
Okay.
And on the letter, the person complained that cars will back up to the road. But it's not really true because there's a gravel pad that you just back up to and then get out.
Okay. Well, we do have some questions for you already. So Mr. Jordan has a question, and we'll let him start.
So who does a neighbor call at 3 a.m. when they can't take the loud music anymore?
There's not going to be loud music at 3 a.m.
But if there is?
If there is, you can call me, or everything goes through Airbnb.
That's fine, but I mean, are they going to talk to a recorder or somebody going to answer?
Yeah, no. I live in West Ashley. They have our cell phone numbers. Once they do the booking, they get phone numbers.
Okay.
And I have a local person live on James Island also.
And they'll answer it?
Oh, yeah.
Not the recorder?
Of course, always.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on my left?
I will say we're very strict. We only book for people over 25 years old, no parties, only families. We're not interested in parties. That's not good for us.
Thank you.
I have a question, then I'll go to the side. So have you ever lived at this residence?
No.
Okay, so you...
Brand new house.
So you just purchased it not too long ago?
Correct.
Was the initial intent to...
Correct.
Do that? Okay. So that's your mode of operation, basically, while you have 30 doors and doing this?
Correct.
Okay. Well, very good. Let's see if anyone else has a question. On my right? No? Thank you so very much for your testimony.
Thanks so much.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition? Very good. This case is closed to the public. Board members, do you have questions of staff? Anyone have questions of staff? All right.
I do have one quick one.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any monitoring of how many Airbnbs are going down Fleming Road or in that area? It seems to be a higher number as of late going down there. I mean, how do we track that? Or do we have, I mean, he mentions there was one right around the corner or something like that. I mean, I know that there's supposed to be some percentage or something. Do we have a number?
Yeah, we have a software that looks at that, active, unlicensed, and licensed properties, short-term rentals, and we did find 0 active within a 300-foot radius, but we found 2 that were active that were not licensed or in violation that we're looking at, so, yeah.
Okay. Is there some percentage we're trying to stay within, like a neighborhood or like a certain anything? There's no guidance whatsoever on that?
No. The county has not set any guidelines for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else have questions of staff? Okay. If not, then I need a motion to approve or deny this case. Anybody want to take a shot? Who said sure? Okay. Mr. Neal?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair. In case BZA 0825000889, I'll make a motion to approve the special exception criteria for short-term rental properties. I feel that it meets all criteria 1, 2, and 3. Criteria number 1 is it compatible with existing uses in the vicinity, will not adversely affect the general welfare or character of the immediate community. We've had testimony that there's one right down the street. This is a very large house with a very large driveway, so there shouldn't be any issues whatsoever for parking in their site plan. Criteria number 2, adequate provision is made for setbacks, buffering, fences, to protect the adjacent properties. As part of the application, shows the pictures, but also that the fence goes all the way around the back side of the house, so this should be a standalone unit with adequate provisions, so it clearly meets this criteria. And criteria number 3 complies with all applicable rules, regulations, and standards of the ordinance, not limited to any site plan review requirements to this ordinance. So I feel that it meets all 3. Please include in my motion staff comments as part of the recommendations, and I move forward.
Okay, do we have a second? Second. All right, thank you, Mr. Nelson. All right. Any discussion? Very good. All those.
I don't want to stand in the way of progress, but I remain concerned about safety, and I would err in favor of safety over numbers in this case. And had it been left up to me, I would have limited it to 8 and treating this applicant similar to the last one. I'm concerned again about safety on this very busy road with 10 people and 6 cars with on-site parking. That's going to take some adjustment. That's my comment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so very much, Mr. Truesdale. Anyone else?
I'm also concerned about the trash. You know, I live on the Isle of Palms, and I've seen 17 cars parked in front of people's houses. You see this on a regular basis. Too much trash for the community. The trash cans won't handle it, and it just is a problem.
You live in a special area like me, don't we?
We do.
Quit bragging.
We do.
You got to keep our business to ourselves. Okay. Any other comments? Very good. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. It carries. Congratulations, sir. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you'll be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Once again, thank you. And we will appreciate your tax revenue for Charleston County. But good night, sir. Our next case is case BZA 0825-00890, and it will be done by Mr. Hare. Thank you, Mr. Hare.
The applicant and property owner, Janie LaCalse and Tyler LaCalse, are requesting a special exception to establish a short-term rental property extended home rental at 1617 Wigan Lane, TMS number 33107000086 on James Island in Charleston County. The subject property and surrounding properties are located in the low-density manufactured housing subdivision, MHS, zoning district. According to Charleston County records, the property contains a single-family residence with 3 bedrooms constructed in 2002. The applicant proposes to utilize the residence as an extended home rental by renting 2 of the bedrooms, providing 4 on-site parking spaces, 2 in the garage and 2 in the driveway. That is in compliance with the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance, ZELDAR, and accommodating a maximum of 5 guests. As the property is not owner-occupied, it does not qualify for a limited home rental, and it must be reviewed as an extended home rental in accordance with ZELDAR requirements. This is the zoning ordinance section pertaining to STRs in the MHS Manufactured Housing Subdivision zoning district, the 300-foot radius map, the aerial, zoomed out aerial. We posted the property on September 17th of 2025. Here are pictures of the subject property, a single-family residence and its parking. Pictures of the adjacent properties, Wigan Lane, site plan, tenant notice, and plat. Regarding the 3 approval criteria, staff stated that it may meet criteria 1 through 3. The Board of Zoning Appeals may approve with conditions, or deny case based on the BZA's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following conditions recommended by staff. 1, prior to the zoning permit approval, the applicant shall complete the STRP limited site plan review process. 2, the use shall comply with all requirements of Article 6.8. 3, the property shall not be used as a short-term rental for more than 144 days in aggregate during any calendar year. And 4, the property owner shall be responsible for ensuring that tenants comply with the Charleston County noise ordinance. Any questions?
Yes, sir, Mr. Neal.
Yeah, I'm wondering what subdivision this is and if there are any current licensed short-term rentals in it, because it looks like it's a really large subdivision out there, way out there on Folly Road.
Yeah, this neighborhood is called Riverfront. It's down Folly Road right before you kind of get over the bridge to Folly Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are 3 active licensed short-term rentals in the neighborhood.
Information.
Yep.
Any more questions on my right? My left? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hare. Is the applicant present? Yes, ma'am. Please come to the podium and please state your name and address for the record. You may want to need to pull that mic down because we want to hear every word you have to say.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Janine Lacoste. I go by Michelle. My address is 317 Onteora Boulevard in Asheville, North Carolina. My husband and I own the home, and we use it part-time right now with the plan to move here full-time in the future. So we're just asking for this special exception to be able to rent it in the meantime to help assist with paying the mortgage and the monthly expenses. We've become very friendly and involved in the community there and have great relationships with our neighbors. 2 of our neighbors wrote support letters, which were included in our file. So that's our next door neighbor and the one that we share the back fence line with as well. And I also have one of my other neighbors who came in person to support me today.
Okay. Let's see if any of these board members have a question for you. I'll start on my left. Anyone? Mr. Jordan. Yes, sir.
Same question I asked last time. Who's going to answer the phone at 3 a.m.?
I will. All of our neighbors have our direct number.
But it's going to take you a long time to drive from Asheville to take care of the problem.
We have a relationship with our cleaning company is also a property manager. So he's licensed to assist in any emergency.
In the middle of the night, they'll come?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
And we are, we have many contacts here. And of course, our next door neighbors are going to call us if anything is going awry.
Thank you.
So you lived here for some time, I take it?
I am here at least twice a month currently. Yes.
So, but you lived here as a resident for Charleston County for an extended period of time is my question?
No, sir. No, I have not. We live in Asheville. We purchased the home to move here full-time last year, but we've only been able to use it part-time at the moment.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, Charleston is much prettier than Asheville, right?
Let me tell you.
Much warmer, too.
That's why we want to be here.
I'm just prejudiced, that's all. Any questions on my left?
Come on down and enjoy a hurricane with us.
Well, we did enjoy one in Asheville last year, so.
We sent that one to you.
Unfortunately.
Mr. Nelson, go ahead.
I just have one comment, and I appreciate you including letters of support in your application and for handling your neighbors before coming here. Thank you for doing that.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I'll echo Mr. Nelson's comments. I mean, this is a textbook application. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, you've got your neighbors on board who probably doesn't even need to speak, and and you've talked to your neighbors. You have a relationship with your neighbors. You're planning everything out. It's a 2-bedroom home. You've got the 4 parking spots, 2 in the garage. It's just a textbook. So appreciate all the hard work on the front end, so we don't have to have a million questions on what ifs. So thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Yes, sir.
No, I was prepared to make a motion.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have a question for the applicant? Thank you so very much for your testimony.
Thank you very much.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Okay. Yes, you may speak. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You need to come to the... Yes, ma'am, you will. Okay. Well, okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
Jennifer Page, 1604 Turns Nest Road. And I just wanted to comment on your question. I know Michelle would answer her phone at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then she could call me, and I would be there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see if anyone else have a question for you. Uh-oh, yeah, you stood up there at the firing line,
That's
so now
fine.
you got to take it. Anyone? Okay, am I right? Wow, no more shots. You're
It's
lucky.
a lovely community, and neighbors are very, very welcoming. Everybody knows everybody there. Everybody knows what's going on with the houses in the neighborhood, and it's a perfect fit for what's happening in the neighborhood.
So you've lived there for quite some time, I would assume.
I've owned there since 2016, 14.
Okay. I own a couple
2014.
cars, but I don't drive them all. So do you live there? That's my question.
I do.
Okay.
I do. And the thing is even with, what are you allowing, 6 people? 5? I mean, there would never be, what I've noticed about the STRs in the area is even if there's, let's say, 6 allowed at a property, it's usually only 2 cars anyway. You know, I've never seen a short-term vacation rental. I shouldn't say I've never seen it, but it's really uncommon for everybody to show up in their own individual car.
Okay. Well, thank you for your
That's
testimony.
just a side note on the earlier conversation.
Well, thank you so very much for your testimony. Yes, ma'am.
Any more questions?
You did well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone else to speak in support? Anyone else to speak in support? Anyone to speak in opposition? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition? Very good. In this case, it's closed to the public. Board members, do we have any questions of staff? Do we have any general discussion? Can I get a motion to approve or deny? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, it would please me to make a motion to approve this application in case BCA 0825000890. This is an application for a short-term extended home rental on James Island. There is proper notice and jurisdiction. This application is governed by Zelder Chapter 6, and in particular, Section 6.8.2C 1 through 3. All the criteria have clearly been met. That was an excellent presentation and an excellent application, and it's deserving of approval. Number 1, this is compatible with existing uses in the vicinity. There's been no showing that any of that the general welfare would be adversely affected. In fact, it appears to the contrary. Number 2, adequate provision has been made clearly, as has been established for setbacks, buffering, fencing, so as to protect the adjacent properties and the neighborhood. They have an application in which there's a provision if there was a need for some emergency service to have it done promptly. Number 3, this complies with all applicable rules and regulations, laws and standards contained in the ordinance and in Chapter 6. So I would make this motion subject to an acceptance of staff's recommendations that are 4 in number, and there's no need for me to repeat them.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's my motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Any discussion?
He said, I raised a hand and he yelled at the same time, so.
Y'all trying to trick me up here. Okay. So is Mr. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye and raising your right hand. Aye. It is unanimous. So congratulations. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you'll hear information from our staff letting you know the next steps in our process. So thank you again for coming. Have safe trips back home, and good night. Our next case is case BZA 0825000891, and Ms. Workin will be administering that application.
Okay. The applicant and property owner, Austin Franklin of Coastline Builders LLC, requests a variance to reduce the required 30-foot rear setback by 25 feet, resulting in a 5-foot rear setback for the installation of a proposed swimming pool at 5014 Reese Road, which is TMS number 21500000181 on Johns Island in Charleston County. The subject property and surrounding properties are located within the agricultural residential AGR zoning district. The 0.75 acre subject property contains a 3,301 square foot single-family residence, which began construction in 2024. The home is consistent in size and character with others in the vicinity and complies with the requirements of the AGR zoning district. However, due to the reduced buildable depth of the lot caused by changes in setback regulations, the remaining rear yard is too shallow to accommodate a swimming pool without a variance. So I'm showing here the two plats. One's from 2007 and others from 2023, the current plat. So the ordinance has changed to, now it says prior to April 21st, 1999, you can, and it's a narrow ingress egress easement, you can measure it from the critical, or not critical line, center line, sorry. But that's only for plats that were prior to 1999. So that doesn't apply any longer to this case. And this change reduced their buildable width by 15 feet. This is the zoning ordinance setbacks, the 300-foot radius map, the aerials. We posted the property on September 17th, 2025. This is the backyard where the pool will be located. The location of the septic field, too, is in what this picture is to the side of the house. Photograph provided by the applicant, site plan, a pool rendering, the 2007 plat, and then the current plat. Regarding the approval criteria, we stated that it may meet 3, 4, 6, and 7, and that it meets 1, 2, and 5. The board may approve approval conditions or deny this case based on the board's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. We did not have any suggested conditions for this case, but welcome them if you have one.
Okay.
Questions?
Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Anybody over here on this side? I'm just teasing. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of ones. So I just need a little bit better understanding of the old plat versus the new plats. I want to understand what they're losing, and it sounded like they were losing. They were going to lose 15 feet, but I think it was 10 feet.
15 feet.
It's 15 feet. So explain that 15-foot difference.
So the 50-foot is measured from the center line of the easement in the 2007 plat.
The 50-foot.
Mm-hmm. You start the measurement from the center line,
And
whereas for this plat, it's measured from the property line.
From the property line.
Yep.
So they're losing 15 feet because of that.
Yes.
So if we granted it just based on that, the 25 would go down to 10, not down to 5.
Oh, so we're talking about the front. That's restricted. So what we're saying is it's going to be a 5-foot setback in the rear.
One more time.
I was talking about the front setback.
Yeah.
Was pushing the house further back. So you see, like this one, they're showing the buildable area, but then there's less of a buildable area. You just don't see the setbacks on this one because we don't recommend people put setbacks on plats since they do end up changing over time.
Well, I'm really worried about the rear setback.
But yeah, they're 5 feet from the rear.
It's going.
The pool would be.
Yeah,
yes.
it's going from 25 to 5 feet. Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
So
from the 30 foot.
Yeah, so that's what I'm concerned about. So
okay.
I'm trying to understand that. And then did I not see something about a drainage easement or what's it called for waste field
Yeah, the septic's over here.
Septic tank stuff?
Yeah.
So we're building a pool on top of a drain field?
No, it's over here.
One more
Oh, you
time,
can't
can you
see
show me
it.
where it is? To the right.
Yeah, and then this is the proposed pool. And there's a fence that goes along that property line.
Right. And so that was kind of my other question, but I'm getting the applicant ready here is why the pad is so large for the pool, all that extra space. I mean, if we were to encroach into that 5-foot area and leave 5 feet, why do we have to leave it for, I don't know how long that area is from the pool deck, but it's a very long area when it looks like it's just for accommodating standing around and sitting and having parties on there. I mean, that's something so I mean, normally it's just for the pool area and the pavers stop and then they go back into landscape, but we've got a real large pool deck unless I'm missing something.
No.
No, I'm not? Okay. All right, well, I'll save my questions for the applicant. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Maybe this will be for the applicant, but I've seen many mentions of a recent adjustment made. What's the timeline on that?
The adjustment,
That would require us for the applicant to seek this variance?
I'm sorry, I don't know if I understand.
The need for this variance has been justified by saying that it's due to a recent adjustment.
Right, I mean.
What was the timeline on?
Okay, so as of 2007, I think that was the date, you were allowed to measure from the center line for narrow ingress-egress easements, which is what this is.
Okay.
But the date was changed in our ordinance after 2007. It wasn't recent, but after 2007.
When did it change? And that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So it was in 2007.
Or ish.
More
yeah.
or less.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay, and I think my next question would be more for the applicant, but when they started the house in 2000, was it 2024?
Right.
I'm asking, why they didn't take that into consideration
Yes,
at that time?
that's a good question.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking when I saw that, I didn't realize it was a 2007 timeline. So you're saying that it's been 15, 17, 18 years and that it's been established and they're just now building in 2024. Okay.
There's a couple of houses built in the neighborhood so far.
Okay. I'm just sort of jumping in here with my question. Thanks for allowing that, Mr. Chair.
But they're all really new homes.
So this rear setback of 30 feet, did that change?
No, that did not change.
So
the setbacks didn't change. It's just how you measured the front setback is what changed.
But this house goes from front setback all the way to the back setback right now. What would have, are we saying that we would have been able to move the house further towards the street?
I believe that's what
feet?
he's saying, correct?
Yeah.
15 feet. So there have been an additional 15 feet. So,
Yeah, that's what he's, yeah.
but we would still be within the 30-foot setback, even with the 15 feet additional on the front.
Yes.
Am I correct in understanding that? Thank you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Ms. Horton, can you confirm under current AGR regulations, the minimum lot size is 1 acre, correct?
30,000 square feet.
30,000 square feet? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
It's one dwelling unit per acre is the density.
Ah, I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Question? Thank you, Ms. Workin.
You're welcome.
Is the applicant present? All righty.
Builders.
Please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record, and please tell us why we should approve your application, sir.
My name is Austin Franklin. I live at 5015 Reese Lane, directly across from 5014 Reese Lane that we're here for today. So going back to why it's kind of weird, basically my house is, somebody else previously owned it, subdivided it, and I believe like 2003 era, and that was when it allowed my setbacks to be 50 foot from the property line, which was currently the center of the road. Then that grew 15 foot that way, with still the 30 foot in the back, allowed me to have to build roughly a 50 foot depth of a house. So to try and fit a nice house in 50 feet and then still have, 15 to 20 foot, for a pool makes everything very, very tight. And at the time when we were building these, I didn't necessarily think about pools until we started to sell. And everybody wanted a pool, contacted a pool company, and they said, no problem. I think it's just a 5-foot setback for residential. Then we started down the road, and turned out you could not put a pool inside the setback of AGR. I was told you could do it in R4 in the residential zoning, so that's why I went ahead and requested as if it was a residential zoning, even though I know it's not, of the 5-foot. I could probably vary on that as long as I could fit a pool comfortably in the backyard. I know there was a bunch of questions. Which other one did I not address?
Are you a builder?
I am. That is my subdivision. Actually, Haven Estates is my daughter, and Reese Lane is my other daughter, Ari Reese. And like I said, I bought that, I think, in 2022 and started. A builder before me, I think, had it in the early 2000s, cleared it, lost it in 08, and I was able to buy the 11 TMS numbers. And it just he was able to put a road down the middle, because I think back then it was a little more lenient, whereas today, if it was AGR, none of those could really fit. It would be a whole different civil engineering plan, and that's why now I'm held to AGR, whereas if I rezone this and did it all today, it'd have to be a different layout. My lots are less than an acre, and they already don't fit what would be required of a current AGR.
So my comment to you is that you're different, but you're licensed, right?
Yes.
So you coming into this knowing what you're dealing with up front to some degree. So if you bought all,
I've never done this before. I've always played by the rules, but yes.
But if you bought 11 lots one time, so you had to have some due diligence in this, correct?
Sorry, say it one more time.
When you purchased 11 lots one time, you had to have some due diligence in purchasing these lots.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So you had to be aware of the setbacks in that neighborhood, because.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, it's.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't aware of the pool being considered a structure, or I'm not sure how it's worded in there. But I thought, the house has to be within the setbacks, and I'm not asking for anything to move a house or a vertical structure.
But you're not going to live in the house either.
If it doesn't sell, I'll be moving there. But yeah, if I move there with my family of 3, I would be asking again for mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Your question, sir.
Yeah, that's my question. I mean, the application stands, but the question is, this is a spec house, or this is not for a family that you already have it under contract or anything like that. So I was looking through the application, and it's for you, for the builder. So you're trying to enhance the house to make it more sellable, and putting a pool in the backyard does that. So normally when we have pool applications, it's for a family because they have to have they need to have the pool for their kids and stuff like that, and this is more on speculation. So I want to confirming this is not for your house. This is for the lot that you own as an investment, but you're going to be selling. You have all intentions of selling this house, correct?
Correct. And I've had multiple people that are very interested, but then when I found out about this variance, right, I tell them, and they kind of want to throw it back on me.
I understand. Well, let me just follow up on. I have less questions now that I know it is an investment property, but still, can you pull up the site plan of the pool or the pool plan? Either one will really work. Yeah, that one right there. So my question is, why do we have to, if you're going to ask for, you are asking for a variance. If you're asking for a variance, and I'm really more concerned about the rear lot area. You could basically going to have 5 feet left before the end of the property. So even if you landscaping and stuff like that, why does the deck have to go all the way down that far? I mean, this is a massive deck. It's actually a large pool. Is there no other way to put this pool, reposition it to the left side of the house or anything like that? I understand the drain field is to the right side, so you can't do it over there. Why couldn't you put a smaller pool on the left side, almost coming outside of the back porch or whatever that is there? Why couldn't you do that? Because this looks like a really large, I mean, granted, it's a 3,000 square foot house, very nice home. But why couldn't you do something on the left or smaller, or just a smaller pool? I mean, this was a massive ask, I think.
I could cut down, and the deck was just the 3D rendering from the pool company. Really, I'm after more or less a 15-foot pool, maybe 20, 22, 25-foot deep, and then a 5-foot pad around it for.
So you're really
walking.
not sold on this drawing that you got right here then?
No, I'm flexible as far as the deck, the patio. I'm really after just the pool. I don't need the.
And you can't reposition the pools, and so it goes the other way, perpendicular to the lot line, or closer to the house?
Just bring the pool closer to the house, but still in the backyard, or set it in the side. I've toyed with everything and tried to come up with the best solution for this one. And with just kind of how it is on the setback, you could make like a maybe 8x8, 10x10 pool on the left corner, and then you have a pool in your side yard. Which, me being, in the neighborhood, I would rather have people have their pools in a backyard with their own privacy.
It just seems like it would, for my vote, it seems like it would be easier if once the homeowner is there to come in with a plan that they need exactly for what size pool they need for their kids, and maybe in the side yard and stuff like that, and a minimal, not obtrusive variance instead of just one really long variance, one massive variance around the back that only leaves you 5 feet. That's just kind of where I am right now. I think you're kind of early for the variance. I understand what you're trying to do, and no reason to
I
ask.
would probably go ahead and put the pool in, and if it didn't sell, I'd be moving in. But
I got you.
Does anybody else have a question?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
I had two questions I wanted to follow up on what was asked by you,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair. First, I didn't fully understand, why didn't you make this application before you began this venture?
Basically, I did not realize the response I would get from the community of buyers that really wanted a pool.
All right. The second question I had was, and help me help you, explain to me why not having a pool is a legal hardship. I'm having terrific problems getting over the
hardship.
I'm sorry, I didn't finish. I'm having a lot of difficulty understanding how, for a lot of people, not having a pool becomes a hardship. Help me help you.
I guess.
Explain that.
I
to
guess
me.
my hardship in this scenario, or what I was saying, would be really the 15 feet. So my house had to get pushed 15 foot back, which I already only had 50 feet. So then I got more or less, because it was subdivided back in 2007. So my 15 foot, my house had to go back 15 more foot than original with the original subdivision, which then my house went from being able to have 65 feet to being able to have my house 50 and a pool in it. If I had the 15 feet, I could maybe manipulate it and make it. But basically now I only have 50. It becomes very hard.
All right. I do understand you can make more money, perhaps, if you have a pool, but I'm having a difficult time getting over the threshold of how not having a pool becomes a hardship for the community.
Yeah, it really
Or
comes
for the
down to
public.
family values and just having your kids be able to enjoy the pool. My hardship was just more or less based on the.
Mr. Jordan has a question for you.
So to follow up what my colleague said, based on what I heard you say, it's a hardship on you, not the community in the house. Isn't that what you just said? You said it's my hardship.
I get, or anybody that lived there, or if I lived there, it'd be my hardship. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you for your time and your testimony this evening. The one question I have, just looking at aerials, there's several other homes under construction.
Yes.
On the
I
street.
think I am on the 6th house right now.
Okay.
And they've all sold, but this one.
I got you. The one thing that we do see in this board, and we can't use this as a basis of decision tonight, but we have multiple sites, well, one particular, Paradise Island, that was subdivided in the early 2000s and has some critical line setback issues that come into play and placement of pools. And one thing we do get a little leery of is that when we start allowing on one street, one house to have a pool behind it, that everybody else down the property line comes in here asking for pools as well. Have you heard from other property owners that have already bought the other houses that they're also seeking pools?
They've talked about it. I'm currently trying to purchase the one on the other side of the street, which is where I live, trying to purchase it and then get that additional, which is about 50 feet. If you look at that long, skinny rectangle on the other side of the street, and there's about a 50-foot strip all the way there. I couldn't really contact it. I've tried to buy it, and I can't get.
So you're saying the property behind that house so that you have additional room?
Correct.
Okay.
and I just haven't been able to make it happen. But they're just long. Both of those are roughly 50 feet and 3,000 foot long that can't be used for anything. It's that backs up to it. It's just a narrow piece of land and then Esau Jenkins Road on the other side.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so very much for your testimony, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Very good. This case is closed to the public. Board members, do we have any questions of staff? Do we have any questions of staff? Yes, sir.
So if this were zoned R4, what is the rear setback for whatever the next step down in zoning would be?
For pools, the interior property lines, which is your side or your rear property line, it's going to be 3 feet in R4.
Okay, but this particular part of the county, the entire area around it zoned AGR and has been for quite some time?
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions of staff? Any general discussion? Any general discussion? I hate to say it, but I can't get over criteria 6.
I'll make a motion, and we can, when you're ready.
Any other general discussion? Okay, if I hear none, then I need a motion to approve or deny. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll make a motion for denial, and then if I may explain why, and then also the options after that. But I make a motion to deny case BZA 0825000891. I do not feel that meets criteria number 6. And I believe the pool design is his own actions. I think there's other opportunities that could be made with this property, and it won't fit.
I have a second. Mr. Truslow?
May I follow up a little bit?
Yes.
I think there's other options here. I mean, I think if this was a homeowner coming in and showing the need for the pool, I think the pool is a want, not a need. I don't. Obviously, it could help the sale of the property and things like that. And I don't fault the applicant from coming in here and asking and trying. I'd like to help them, but I just don't see that there's a way to get past this variance test on number 6. I think in his testimony, he actually explained the possibility of gathering some more land behind it and being able to do some stuff. And I would direct him in going in that route because I think it would be a good one. If not, I would come back with some type of variance submittal that would be very minimal and less obtrusive to a large pool and a large deck and stuff like that. I could get behind supporting something like that. But this current application, I can't.
Okay, we're still in discussion, and we have a motion that's been denied and seconded. Any other discussion? Mr. Jordan?
Fairness to the applicant. I believe I heard him say that he was willing to adjust all that, the size, the pool. So if that's true, then wouldn't it be the right thing to give him the opportunity to come back to us with whatever his adjustment is for us to consider?
But if we deny it, he can come back with a new drawing and it's a new submittal. It has nothing to do with.
I thought if you deny, it has to wait a year.
No, only if he resubmits it the same way, I believe. Is that correct, Ms. Borton?
That's correct.
So if he gets denied tonight, he can put a submittal together with a new layout, new everything, whatever he wants.
Would he have to pay extra?
That's not me. I'm not on the payroll.
That's not the preview of the.
Yeah, but staff can answer that.
Yes, it would be a new application. A new case number.
Okay.
New meeting. Yeah, it costs a lot of money.
Any other general discussion?
Mr. Chair, I would observe that in addition, I don't think this respectfully meets criteria number 3. He's not unreasonably, he's not being prohibited from using the property, unreasonably using the property. He's built a beautiful home on the property, and it can be used in having a swimming pool. Again, I just can't get over the threshold of saying that having a swimming pool. Having a swimming pool is per se a hardship. Thank you.
Mr. Nelson, you had something?
Yeah, I think the interesting part of this case is, one, we have 0 letters of opposition to the request. We've had nobody stand up in this room and be opposed to the request. Staff actually has not said any of these criteria may not meet, yet we're here struggling with it, which kind of says a lot about this particular property. I actually agree with the hardship argument here and the changing of some setbacks and how that could have created some issues with a builder that may have understood a lesser setback in other types of zoning. But, I think as my colleague, Mr. Trueslow, would say, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Or we got to play it where it lies or something like that.
Play it where it lies.
I would have preferred to have said something polite like buyer beware.
So in general, I could support something. On this property, I do think a little more thought needs to be given to what size pool should be there and a little bit better planning associated with that. All right.
Let's bring it to the vote. All those in favor of denial of this application, please raise your right hand and say aye. Aye. For, any opposed? Well, it was unanimous, right? Did I see all hands up? Okay. Hey, Carrie.
Can you clarify that Jenny, the only reason for denial was what Mr. Neal said, not
Yes.
Right.
The only reason was number 6.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, your application was not approved tonight, sir. You will be getting information from staff letting you know the information that you need to know to move forward. Okay? Thank you so very much, and thank you for coming. Good night, sir.
Bring something else back.
Our next case is case BZA 0825-00892, and that will be done by Ms. Working.
The applicant and property owner, Spafari Taylor, requests a special exception for placement of 2 manufactured housing units on the property located at 1418 Ellis Street, which is TMS number 35106000069, in the St. Andrews area of Charleston County. The subject property and adjacent properties to the north, east, and west are located within the low-density residential R4 zoning district, while properties to the south are within the jurisdiction of the city of Charleston. The subject property is approximately 1 acre in size and currently contains an existing single-family residence, which is scheduled for demolition. A demolition permit has already been issued. The property owner applicant proposes to install 2 manufactured housing units, each measuring 32 feet by 76 feet on the site, following the removal of the existing structure. On August 11th, 2025, staff conducted an analysis of the properties located within the 300-foot radius of the subject parcel. And that I'm showing the map here. Of the 60 parcels within the 300-foot radius, 36 contain existing site-built homes, and there's 1 parcel that contains a manufactured home, and that's adjacent to the subject property at 1422 Ellis Street. 18 parcels are currently vacant, 3 parcels are occupied by religious institutions, and 2 parcels are developed with commercial uses. So the ratio for manufactured home was 2.7. The ordinance requirement, aerial photograph. We posted the property on September 17th. You can see the structure in the back that is the one getting demoed. And then this is the mobile home at 1422 Ellis, and then adjacent on the other side is 1423. Site plan, plat. Sorry. Regarding the approval criteria, we stated that it may meet 1, 2, and 6, that it meets 3 and 4 and 5. There were approximately 68 public comments in support of this application. The board may approve conditions, or deny the request based on the BZA's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event that the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following condition recommended by staff. 1, the manufactured homes shall comply with all applicable provisions of Section 6424B of the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance. Any questions?
Any questions of staff? You have one, Mr. Jordan?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Did I notice a manufactured home or trailer in those pictures?
Yes,
So
it's adjacent to the subject property, but it wasn't enough to bring the to bring the ratio up to
Are
prove
there
it.
other trailers or manufacturers housing in the area?
Yes, outside of the radius, there are a couple.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Workman. Is the applicant present? Very good. Please state your name and address for the record, and please tell us why we should approve your application.
Yes, my name is Reverend Spivera Taylor. I live at 64 Cannon Street, Charleston, South Carolina, 29403. First, I would like to say good evening to the chair and members of the board. I am the executive of this estate.
Okay.
And I am here to request approval for 2 manufactured homes on our property. And the reason why we're requesting 2, the original plan was to improve the house that's there, to renovate the house. And after getting individuals into and the other thing was to add a manufactured home for my niece. So it would have been the home and try to get a manufactured home for my niece. In the midst of doing that, after having contractor comes out to look at the renovating the house, it's too far gone. And we have individuals living in the house. So therefore, after speaking to the bank, and they're not really willing to do a loan on their property, or so therefore the house have to, we can't do anything with it, but they are willing to do a loan on a manufactured home. So therefore, that's the reason why we are requesting 2. This property has been in the family for over 80 years, and my father's trying to build it by his hand, by himself. And we don't want to get rid of the house, but right now it's in no condition. It's not livable. This land is from generation. When I say generation, when it comes to the kids, us, our grandkids and our great-grand, they have lived in the house or have been taken care of in that house. So therefore, we just want to, at this point, keep the family together, keep the family, whereas we could still come together on Sundays. We can't now, but if we can get these manufactured home in the area, we can provide safe housing for our loved ones and improve the property and the community.
Okay. Thank you. Did I understand you trying to get together on Sundays to have big Sunday meal?
Yeah.
You cooking?
I didn't see all of that now.
I'm just cutting up. I just saw a movie in my head. I won't say soul food, but I just, when you said that, I saw that in my head. I know. Let me start over here, if I could. Mr. Trueslow,
Thank you for your presentation, and I'm going to probably telegraph what my vote is most likely to be. Since my time on this board, I've never seen an application that was more deserving and I appreciate all your support. We've never, in my experience, never had this much community support as well. So we thank you. My admonition would be, and I don't want to discourage anybody from speaking, but when it's sold, sometimes they say no need to keep selling. You're in good shape. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir.
You mentioned that somebody's living in the house that is going to be scheduled for demolition. Who is that? Are there family members that are currently
It's
living?
family members.
And then the two manufactured homes, so these are all going to be family members?
Yes, definitely.
And there's no issues with the heirs' property of putting the manufactured properties on them or anything like that?
No.
So it's still, did you say this was your father's land?
Yes.
Is he still with us?
No.
I'm sorry
He
to hear
died
that.
30 years ago.
I got you. All right, well, I applaud you for the one statement of saying you wanted to keep the family together and keep the people on. That's and also your application with the community support is leaps and bounds where we are normally with properties like this. So, yeah, it looks like a wonderful application. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other questions on this side? Any questions to my left? Thank you so very much for your testimony. Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Please state your name and address for the record, please, and tell us why we should.
My name is Tawana Bly Hamilton. Excuse me. So good evening, Chair, members, and the board. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. This property means a lot to my family. It's been in our name for generations, and it holds so much history over the years. Over the years, time and circumstances have taken a toll on it, but in our heart, it's always been to restore what we have lost and keep our family together on our own land. We're requesting this approval for 2 manufactured homes, not for profit or business, but for family stability. The homes would allow us to bring life back to this property, to provide safe and affordable housing for loved ones, and to continue the legacy and care that our elders started. I'm so sorry. We work hard to clean up the property, remove unsafe structures, and make sure everything will meet code and county requirements. All we're asking is for the opportunity to rebuild, to give this land purpose again, and make it a safe, beautiful part of the community. Our family believes in hard work, faith, and home. This approval would mean more than just housing. It would represent a fresh start. A fresh start and a second chance for us to stand on the land that's always been home. Thank you for your time, understanding, and consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. She had enough. Okay. Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Miranda Jemison, 10866 Bluffside Drive, Unit 3, Studio City, California.
Okay. You pull the mic down so it won't be a struggle for you. There you go.
I don't know how to follow that, but this means everything to our family. My grandpa always told us, no matter who you marry or who you are, you have some place to come back to. I've been gone for 28 years, and I know I have some place to come back to, but now I don't. I haven't for some time. If we could get those 2 units, that gives all of us that have left a place to come back to. I just want to thank you guys for your time. I had something prepared, but I can't do it. Thank you guys.
Well, hold on.
It means a lot to our family.
Oh, okay. Anyone on my left?
Came a long way for this.
Oh, okay. Mr. Jordan.
This board's heard this probably too many times, but I want you to know that I feel for you very strongly because I recently bought my grandfather's house back that he built and lived in till he died. I know how you feel. You got my vote.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Hold on, if you would. Anyone on my right? No? Thank you so very much for your testimony. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. All right. Anyone to speak in opposition? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition? Very good. This case is closed to the public. At this time, I need any discussion? Any questions of staff? Any questions of staff? Any discussion? Okay, therefore, I need a motion to either approve or deny this case.
Mr. Chair, I'm prepared to make a motion.
Okay. Mr. Truesdale?
It would please me to make a motion to approve in case BZA 082500892. I'd reiterate what I said before. This has been one of the best, most deserving applications I've seen. I've never, in my time on this board, ever seen the support that we've had here from the community and all the people that are here. This is a request for a special exception to place 2 manufactured homes in a low-density residential zoning district. Notice and jurisdiction are proper. The legal authority, and we have to go through this, the law requires it, but the legal authority is set forth in Chapter 6 of Zelda. This is on a 1 acre, this application relates to a 1 acre piece of property that's on site with a residence that is proposed for demolition. This is going to be a tremendous improvement to the community. It improves the community, the quality. It provides affordable housing. It's compatible with current uses. The criteria, and we have the recommendations of staff. The criteria are set forth in Section 3.6.5, and there's 6 criteria that we've considered. They have been met overwhelmingly in this case. This is consistent. Number one, it's consistent with the recommendations contained in the county comprehensive plan, and it provides for homing in for the community and for the family. Number two, it's compatible with existing uses in the vicinity. It will not in any way adversely affect the general welfare characteristic of the community. In fact, it improves it. Number three, adequate provision has been made clearly for setbacks, buffering, fencing, landscaping to protect the community as a whole. Number four, this application is designed to preserve and incorporate important natural features in the community. It complies with all laws, regulations, rules, and such that's contained in the zoning provisions, and vehicular traffic and pedestrian movement on adjacent roads shall not be hindered or endangered in any way. So I'll make this recommendation or make this motion along with the one recommendation made by staff. So that's my motion. I'm pleased to make it, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we have a motion that has been properly moved and second. Any general discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Raise your right hand. Aye. Aye. It is unanimous. So, congratulations. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you'll be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Once again, thank you for coming, and congratulations and good night. And at this time, we will take a 10-minute recess. We will. I said 10. Still trying. Okay, at this time, we will reconvene, and we will start with case BZA 08-25-00893. And Ms. Workin will administer this case for us.
The applicant and property owner, Carol A. Webb, requests a special exception for the on-site sale of alcoholic beverages, beer and wine, in association with a proposed restaurant use on the property located at 1455 Stuart Ingalls Boulevard, which is TMS number 559-14-00014, in the east area of Charleston County. The subject property is located within the Mount Pleasant Overlay Commercial Zoning District at the corner of Stuart Ingalls Boulevard and Louise Terrace. Adjacent properties to the north are also within the Mount Pleasant Overlay Commercial Zoning District, while properties to the east are designated as suburban residential within the Mount Pleasant Overlay. Properties to the south fall under the jurisdiction of the town of Mount Pleasant. The 0.39 acre subject property contains a vacant commercial building that was formerly used as a restaurant. This is the ordinance requirements, the overlay map, the 300-foot radius map, aerials, some photographs of the subject property. We posted the property on September 16, 2025. The parking for the property, and Stuart Ingalls, the site plan, and the plat. Regarding the approval criteria, we stated that it meets 1, 3, 4, and 5, that it may meet 2 and 6. We did receive 4 letters in support, as well as a petition with 12 signatures in support. The board may approve conditions, or deny the request based on the BZA's findings of fact, unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following condition recommended by staff. The applicant shall comply with all applicable requirements of the state of South Carolina for alcoholic beverage sales, and shall provide proof of state approval to zoning and planning staff prior to the issuance of the zoning permit. Have any questions?
Any questions of staff? Thank you, Ms. Working. Is the applicant present? Very good. Please state your name and address for the record, and please tell us why we should approve this application, sir.
Good evening, board members. My name is Christopher Webb, and I reside at 3121 Ion Avenue, Sullivan's Island. I'm here today to represent the subject property owner, Carol Webb, my mother and business partner in this restaurant venture. My family has owned 1455 Stuart Ingalls Boulevard since the late 1970s. We've seen many changes to the area. We have lovingly maintained and restored the structure over the decades, and the property has a special place in our hearts. We actually call it Poulos, named after Old Man Poulos, which I think you saw on the plat there, was a previous owner, and he did a lot of different business at that property, also raised a family there. In 2013, 2014, my father, James Webb, and I went through the site plan approval process with Charleston County to open a restaurant at the property. We were successful in that endeavor, and my mother and I opened Morgan's Market, which is basically a soup salad sandwich place. We also sold high-end beer and wine at that time. It was a dream of ours to run a cafe, but regrettably my father passed away. And due to some other family health concerns, we closed the business in 2016. So it is now our intention to reopen a cafe, and I have requested to sell beer and wine at the premises. Going back with staff, it appears that there was some confusion in the past with the approvals in 2014 for beer and wine. Regardless, my mother and I went through the very detailed process with South Carolina State to sell beer and wine, including a SLED background checks in 2014. We were successful in obtaining a license to sell beer and wine 7 days at the premises, and I have supplied all of that documentation in my application for your review. I now respectfully request a special exception to sell alcohol at the premises. I have greatly appreciated the help of Charleston County staff, namely Ms. Working, and I would say that although we are not excited to have to go through the process again, it's been good. We've garnered a lot of support from the neighborhood, and as you've seen by the signed letters and petitions supplied to you, there's a lot of community support. My mother and I are now more excited than ever about the restaurant's future, and I welcome any questions or concerns you have. Thank you.
Very good. Let's see if we have any questions for you. Anyone on my left? Anyone on my right? Wow.
Okay. Is either a good thing or a bad thing?
Go ahead. So it's good that we have someone from east of the Cooper that can come before us and reestablish their business. What else will you have in this building what else will you be selling other than beer and wine?
We're going to be selling light fare, soup salad sandwiches. There's other similar businesses in the area. One that kind of comes to my mind that would be similar would be Five Loaves. I don't know if you've ever patronized the Five Loaves Cafe, something similar to that.
And your hours?
We're kind of going back and forth. Because I've talked a lot with the community, they actually want us to stay open a little bit later because they want to walk down and enjoy dinner or a light dinner and also maybe some alcoholic beverages. I would never stay open past 12 o'clock, midnight.
And how many tables will you have in there, roughly?
DHEC has had a lot of input on that. The seating, if we go forward with beer and wine, would be limited to 40, 39. So it's a small cafe.
I drive by there every other day. Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, we'd love to have you when we open.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your application. Very good application. I also like the fact that you got a lot of the neighbors to sign your petition of support. So that shows people on Stewart English Boulevard will support you. So I just want to make, when you say cafe, this is not you're not selling beer and wine as in like a 7-Eleven to go. I mean, you're selling beer and wine to drink on your establishment, right?
Yes, for consumption, but the permit that we had before, we could sell.
Right.
You could sell, I mean, it's very similar. I don't know if you've gone to many wine bars, but you can purchase it right off and you can go home and enjoy it, or you can, as a corking fee. And you can
right. And again, this is for beer and wine. This is not for liquor.
Yes, right.
Okay, I'm good, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else on my right? Okay. Thank you so very much for your testimony, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Do we have anyone else to speak in favor of this application? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Anyone to speak in opposition? Very good. Case is closed to the public. Board members, do we have any questions of staff? Do we have any general discussion?
Staff.
Okay.
On the special exception for beer and wine stuff, it's really just in the zoning table that we're trying to get approval that they have to get. It's just one of the steps in the process for their business license, correct? It doesn't have anything to do with timelines or time establishments to midnight or anything like that, right?
It's just when they're near residentials.
What's that?
The special exception kicks in when they're near a resident, like they're adjacent to or near.
But I mean, the county already has rules on the time, and they, if you wanted to stay up until 2,
right, outside of zoning, right.
And those are already established.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I was just going to make a general comment. I'm familiar with the area. I've seen it grow by leaps and bounds. When I got married, you don't have to stand up. When I got married, there were 5,200 people in Mount Pleasant, and I'm not that old, I don't think. You're going to serve well, some people might say I am, but he's a youngster.
Depends on who you're talking to.
I'm feeling pretty young. Anyway, this application serves the community. There's a crying need, and I plan to be fully supportive of this, as I would expect the decision to be unanimous. But we'll see.
Thank you, Mr. Truslow. All right. All those I need a motion.
Need a motion.
He was just like, no. I need a motion to approve or deny this application.
I'd make a motion, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Mr. Chuba.
I'm glad to. It would please me to make a motion to approve this application for an exemption to serve beer and wine in a restaurant similar to Five Loaves. If everyone's aware of it, it's off Johnny Dodd's 17. This is going to be for proposed to be for higher-end casual dining. The criteria is, first of all, there's been proper notice and jurisdiction. The law governing this is contained in Zelda Chapter 6, and criteria are set forth in criteria 3.6.5, 1 through 6. All these criteria have been overwhelmingly established, and this has community support. Number one, this is consistent with the recommendations contained in the county comprehensive plan. Number two, and by the way, the application was as good as any I've ever seen. It's compatible with existing uses in the vicinity, will not adversely affect the general welfare of the community. In fact, it will enhance the community and provide places for people to go within walking distance. Adequate provision is made for setbacks, buffering, fencing, and so on. There's not a problem with traffic congestion or anything of that nature. There's a provision for parking. This application will be developed in a way that preserves, obviously, and incorporates any natural features. This complies with applicable rules, regulations, laws, and ordinance, and the zoning area. And number 6, vehicular traffic and pedestrian movement will not be adversely impacted. So that's my motion, subject to the one recommendation that's been made by staff.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Brown, I saw hands over here, but I heard this, I don't know which one. But it's, all right, do we have any general discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye and raising your right hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. It is unanimous. So congratulations, sir. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you'll be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Once again, congratulations, sir, and good night. All righty. Still in East Cooper. Next case, BZA 08-25-00894. And Ms. Working.
The applicants and property owners, Tracy and Frederick Colcleisure, request a variance to reduce the required 50-foot front street side setback by 40.2 feet, resulting in a 9.8-foot setback for an existing unpermitted detached accessory structure carport located at 532 Society Road, which is TMS number 764-0000556 in the east area of Charleston County. The subject property and surrounding properties are located within the agricultural residential AGR zoning district. The 1.99 acre subject property contains a single family residence and an 18.2 foot by 30.2 foot shed that were permitted and constructed in 2020, according to Charleston County records. The property also contains an existing unpermitted detached accessory structure, which is the 24.1 foot by 35.1 foot carport, which was illegally placed on the property in 2020 or 2021 based on aerial photographs. This is the zoning ordinance requirement for setbacks, the 300-foot radius map, aerials. We posted this property on September 16th, 2025. This is the carport that needs the variance. Subject property adjacent and Society Road. Site plan. And the plat. Regarding the approval criteria, we stated that it may not meet 1, 3, and 6. It may meet 2, 4, and 7, and it meets 5. We did receive one letter in support for this request. The board may approve approval conditions or deny the request based on the board, findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. And we do have one suggested condition. The applicant shall obtain all required zoning and building permits for the existing unpermitted detached accessory structure, which is the carport.
Okay. Mr. Neal?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. How did we get here? Obviously, it's unpermitted, but I mean, are they building something else? What caused the alarm here?
No, I think it was either called in from a neighbor or like somebody saw it and realized they didn't have permits.
Current carport, because it just looks like I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I understand it, but is that something that building code is going to have problems with or something, or is it just we have a unpermitted?
Well, hopefully they won't. I'm not sure how I don't know how it's constructed, but yeah, they're going to want to look at it and see how it's constructed.
And that's one of the
plans.
comments is to bring it up to building code and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
to
stuff.
make sure that it doesn't
as usual
blow away, that kind of thing.
Is it's in an area? Can you explain the area that it's in that it needs the variance? I don't understand. Point out
The site plan?
Yeah, I couldn't understand where the area is. It's encroaching on.
Here's the street. Let me see. And then this is the structure. So it's, what did I say, 9-something feet from the front?
It's supposed to be
50.
50?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going from
50, yeah, 9.8 feet.
From 40?
From the front property line.
Oh, from 50.
Yeah. So the line, see the dotted line up here, that's your 50-foot setback there.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anyone else?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Did the applicant explain why they built this without a permit? And the reason I'm asking this is because I'm certainly familiar with Eagle, the handouts Eagle gives. It tells people, hey, you're responsible for getting a permit and having approval and such. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're absolved. But did the applicant describe why they didn't get a permit? They say just ignorance of the law, or they didn't care, or what?
I'm trying to find it.
I read that.
That might be a good question for the applicant, wouldn't it?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to see if they'd explained it.
They probably
to her. She said they were not aware. I read that.
Yeah, so the response for number one, we were asking for setback adjustment. When we put the carport on the property, we were not aware that we needed to have a permit. And then they talked about the company, Eagle Carports, didn't ask.
Okay. The reason I was asking is because the contractor in this case sends out a number of things that tells the applicant or the homeowner, get a permit. You got to get a permit. You got to get a permit. They tell them over and over and have
I'm
a
not
handout
familiar
and have
with that
something
company,
online
yeah.
that says
So I
get a
don't know.
permit.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not familiar with the company,
Okay,
so I
all
don't
right.
know that. But it sounds like you do.
But thank you, Ms. Workin. Is the applicant present? Yes, sir. Please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record, and please tell us why we should approve this application.
Good evening, board members. My name is Tracy Coclesia. I live at 532 Society Road, McCullenville, South Carolina. So when we had the carport put in, we wasn't aware we needed to get a permit. We recently wanted to put carport over the shed because of the sun. And when we went to do that is when we found out we should have got a permit to do the first carport. And so it wasn't until then that we was aware that that carport was up there illegal. Nobody ever said anything. When we contact Eagle Carports to come put it in, they never said, you got to get a permit. They just told us we had to have the concrete so that they can, put it in the concrete or whatever they had to do. But nobody said we needed a permit. It wasn't until this time here that we actually has the next carport is ready for them to bring it and install it, and that's when we found out we needed a permit. When we came down here, they said that we had one on there that wasn't authorized, and that's how we got here.
That answers your question, Mr. Truslow.
I understood what she says. I've just been looking at what Eagle puts out, what they publish about what's supposed to be done and what they ostensibly tell people. That she may have recourse if they didn't do what they were supposed to, and she's required to start again from scratch, she may be entitled to her money back.
Good luck with that. Let's see, does anyone, Mr. Jordan?
Did you build the home that you're in?
Did I what?
The home you're in, did y'all build that?
No, Schumacher. Schumacher built our home.
Did they get permits?
Yes.
So somebody knew you had to get permits.
Well, I guess so, but we're talking about the carport.
I understand.
That was the first time we had something like that done. And if we needed it, when we called them to have it done, they should have told us we needed a permit. They never said anything about getting a permit until this time, like a couple of weeks ago,
Yes,
when it
ma'am.
was ready to come. And they said, do you have the permit? And we was like, a permit? And then we came down here to zoning. And that's when they said that we couldn't get that permit because we had to clear this one up first.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on my left? Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time. Just one question. Is there another spot on the property you could put this carport so that it would conform with the setbacks?
Nope. Well, I don't even know how we could move it. It's up there. It's a 3-car carport, and that was the only place on the property we could put it. It was solely for the sun from beaming on the cars, and so that was our only option to put it right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Aren't you sitting on 2 acres?
Yeah, but we only using the front part. The back part we can't build because it's wetland.
Okay. All that behind your house is wetland?
Behind that fence.
Would you consider that to be a hardship?
Did I consider?
That to be a hardship that you have wetlands behind your property that you can't build in and relocate that facility toward?
Yes, because I would have loved to be able to use the whole 2 acres. But, it was my dad's property, and we didn't want to lose it, so we tore the house down and we built our house there.
So do you have documents saying that that's a wetland and you can't put anything on it?
I had them, but I got them right from the place here, where they tell you what's back there.
See it.
Oh, I don't have it with me. Yeah, even though the 2 acres on the side of us, all that's wetlands. And that's my aunt's property, and she can't do anything with that.
No, I'm just looking at all that behind you. That's a lot of room to put, which, yeah. Not when it's a wetland, yeah, ideally, yeah. Yes, sir, you had a question?
I had, go ahead. I'll let my colleague ask first.
Just curious, is the same company that did the carport before the one that is doing the carport now?
Yeah. They put the garage did the shed. Eagle Carports put the shed there.
In the back?
Yeah, and they took care of everything that had to be done. And then we called them to do the carport. And we did everything we had to do, but they never said we needed to get a permit to have that carport put there.
But now the same company is the one you've called, and they were saying that you need to do the permitting again. Okay, thank you. Mr. Chuslow?
I had one more question, and forgive me, but I see the what appears to be the home and then 2 outbuildings behind it. What are those?
2 out. 2 out.
There's the house, and then it appears to be, to me, I can see looks like an RV on the
That's
on the right hand side.
On the other side of the shed.
And then I see what appears to be on the right hand side in the back a building, and on the left hand side in the back a building.
So, Ms. Working, could you get the highlighter and point at those 2 structures in the rear, please?
Yeah. I mean, we checked and all the other structures have permits.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that's what you're alluding.
We were just trying to identify what they were. I guess that's what Mr. Truslow's questions
Okay.
were.
What they are and when they were put in.
Do you see what we're talking about? Behind the main dwelling, you got 2 other.
I can stand up.
So right
Oh,
there.
you mean on the side of the house? That's, when those.
That's behind the house, right?
Yeah, the shed you buy from Home Depot and you just put up.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Both of them?
It's only one.
On the other side.
Yeah, on the left side of the house, you said, and the other shed is on the other side, the one that Eagle put in.
The Eagle put in the shed.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Eagle put in the shed, and then y'all built another shed from Lowe's.
From Home
or
Depot.
Home Depot. And now you've got the carport by what looks like the front of the house,
Mhm.
but that's what's impeding the variance, needing the variance, is because the carport's in the setback.
Mhm.
Correct?
Correct.
That's basically where they are.
Correct. I was looking on timeline when the two buildings in the back were installed or put in. Going on the back, a right-hand corner and the left-hand corner.
The 18 by 30 shed was 2020.
And when?
2020. I didn't put the other date in the report. But they got that when they did the house permit.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, one of the things, now that we know where what's causing the problem for the variance, I think my fellow commissioner asked is, could you relocate this shed, this carport? It's called different things. The carport is what we're really talking about. Could we relocate the carport where it wouldn't need a variance because you're within the 50-foot setback from the front of the lot? And it looks like this area right in here, if the shed could turn, you could fit it in there. Now, that doesn't help you because you paid to have your carport done, but that at least explains what could be done without a variance. So it really comes down to, is the variance needed because you can't move the carport and you have limited space to build a carport, or the hardship of, because hardship qualifies for a lot of things, and the hardship is that it's already built.
Mhm.
And we don't have to go to the money. And my fellow commissioner, Mr. Truslow over here, is trying to say, well, you have to take it down. You can probably go back to the guy that put it in because he didn't put it in right. So we're trying to figure out a way. What's the best solution? The best solution moving it? That's where we are. And we're trying to come up, is it functional right there and the only thing you're impeding is the front of the road? Or will it work somewhere else, or it just can't work anywhere else in the yard? We're trying to find a way to understand this application. So anything you can say in there.
I don't think it can work anywhere else, and it's not interfering with the road. It's actually a ways back from the road because it's the road, and then it's the ditch, and then a little bit of grass space before you even get to the carport. But we can't move it from where it is because we don't have anywhere to put it.
What all do you have under the shed? I see a trailer.
The boat and the pickup. So it's a 3 car, so we keep the boat under there and the pickup, and then it's a trailer there. The street is way in front of that fence.
I don't have any questions for this applicant. I have questions, legal questions.
Thank you. So, Mr. Jordan, you have a question for? Thank you for your patience, Mr. Jordan.
So where your wetlands is, do you have anything on it at all?
On the wetlands? No.
And when it rains, how bad does it get back there? How bad does it get back there? Does it get boggy?
Yeah, it floods.
It floods. That's what I wanted to hear. So you really can't use it
No.
much. Sound like a hardship to me.
Mr. Brown, you had a question? No? Okay. Anyone else have a question? Thank you so very much for your testimony.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Do we have anyone else to speak in favor? Yes, sir.
Good. Yes, I did. Good evening, board members. I'm just standing up to back.
Name and address, please, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
532 Society Road.
And your name?
McClannonville, 29458, Frederick Conclesia.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I'm just getting up to back her up what she's saying. Where that carport is, entitled to your question, If we moved it over, it would be on top of the septic field and septic. So that's why it's where it is. I mean, I looked at it and I said, wow, I wonder can I? And then we got in touch with people and said, no, it'll be right on top of your septic field and septic tank. So we can't move it. You know, what bothers me is Eagle Carport put in the garage. They got permits and stuff like that. But when it came to the carport, they said we didn't need it. I guess they just wanted to make the money and run. And that's what they did. And that's what put us in this spot here. Nobody called it in. We came in to take care of something else, and that came up. And then they said we have to straighten this out first before we can move forward to do anything else. That's what I got.
Answers a lot of questions. Go ahead.
So for the carport, you had to have, or you preferred, or they had to have the concrete underneath the carport for the footings instead?
Yeah, to support it. Yeah.
That's what I figured. All right.
Yeah.
No, you've answered my
Yeah.
question. We were looking for where the
Yeah,
hardship was, and you've given it to us.
And they have hurricane straps on and all that stuff. I mean,
Thank you.
Any questions on the left? Any more questions on the right?
I did have a threshold question. How big is the carport? How many square feet? Is it over 100, over 120 square feet?
yes, it is. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, it is.
3 bays?
Just 3 bays.
Okay, I see it. 625 feet, basically.
We have any other questions?
No.
Thank you so very much for your testimony,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone else to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in opposition? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition? Very good. This case is closed to the public. Board members, do we have any questions of staff? Yes, sir, Mr. Neal.
This is a dumb question. I probably know the answer, but the reason we have a 50-foot setback from the road on the front of the property is to prevent somebody building a shed or
Turn your
something
mic
like
on.
that in their front yard.
Your mic on?
Oh. Sorry about that.
Well, in the ag districts, you can have sheds in your front yard and you can have a garage in your front yard.
Okay, so really,
But it's just a distance.
The distance.
For uniformity, but also, to get away from the road.
right. So really, the issue is it's going from 50 down to 9, right?
Yeah, 9.8.
9.6. Okay, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay. Any other discussion? Well, that was a question of staff. Any general discussion?
I have some discussion. My concern is why, when we approve these things, and this is no reflection on the applicant necessarily, but when we approve these variances in situations where contractors ostensibly are clearly violating the law, why would we want to sanction bad conduct? And if we keep allowing builders to do this and there's never any consequence, I don't know why we even exist. It's just a bad precedent, I think, when we allow this to happen. And there's got to be a consequence.
I'll interject that I don't think you are approving what the contractor did or did not do. An applicant is coming before this board and asking for something they're entitled to request. So their request is for this board to either approve or disapprove what they have applied for. As it relates to whether or not a contractor did what they should or should not have done, that's really not before the board.
Well, I would clearly disagree with that, because the practical effect is use common sense. If we keep allowing builders to do this, no permit, they don't follow the law, even when they have it in their own writing what needs to be done, then we're in effect. Well, I don't know why we exist if we keep approving this. There ought to be something that can be done. There's got to be some teeth. We've got these ordinances that are designed for a reason, and if we're not going to going to have people adhere to them, I don't know why we would even exist.
But you're talking about the applicant adhering to the ordinance, and you're saying the violation of the ordinance was because of the contractor.
Well, I'm familiar at law with what's called agency and who's responsible, and they're responsible for their agent, or they've got recourse.
So let me go to Mr. Jordan first, then I'll come back. And then I'll go to Ms. Smith.
I think our attorney basically said what I wanted to say, which is, if they're sincere and they really didn't know, then for somebody else's mistake, then why should they be penalized? How come there's not recourse for them? But I'm not a lawyer.
I'm not saying that they aren't sincere. I'm just saying that there's never any consequence when they violate the law. This isn't on the homeowner, but that nothing ever happens to anybody, whether it's swimming pools or sheds or anything.
Thank you, Mr. Truslow. Let me go to Ms. Smith, please.
I just wanted to say that I was heartened to see that even though they may not have asked for the permit the first time years ago, that this time they did, and they're not allowing the shed to be built now. And so I'm glad to see that this company is maybe changing what they're doing.
Okay. All right, let's get one more, okay?
So our attorney is, if I heard him correctly, has made what I think is a great point, and that is you look at the application for what the end result is going to be. Do we want the end result to have a shed in the buffer area or setback areas, or do we not? How we got there, I agree, Mr. Truslow, is absolutely terrible, and we see it every time. We're always seeing a variance for after the fact, unpermitted shed, unpermitted pool. And I don't like any of those, and I share your frustration there. But we go after that with a business license revocation. We go after that with other fines and things like that. That is not on the application, at least my opinion is not on the application. But one of the questions that helps me determine if we get through these 6 or 7 tests that we have to meet is, how did we get there? You've heard me ask that question almost every time. How did we get here? And that was the first question I asked Ms. Working. Did somebody turn them in? Did a neighbor turn them in? They weren't sure. But the applicant in their testimony clearly said, we came in here for one thing and had to come and do another thing. So they didn't know. So yeah, have they asked that question with the vendor? Yeah, they should have, but they didn't. They didn't know. They thought they were doing something right. So they came in among their own acknowledgement of, hey, we need to get this permit. So that's how I start working through the process. But the end sum game is the application, do we want this shed in the setback or not? However we got there, that doesn't really matter. The application is there in front of it. And I believe that's what the attorney is trying to instruct us to make a good judgment call, and that's where I'm leading towards, how can we do this? And then the applicant, the second testimony has just said that the reason we can't turn it and get it away from that needing this variance is because there's a septic field out there. Well, there you go. There's the hardship. Or at least from my standpoint, there's the hardship.
All right. Thank you.
I mean, so yeah, our code enforcement can write tickets for these things, but it would be going to the property owner, and a variance is a way to not get a ticket for this and to correct. It's ultimately the variance will, if it's approved, correct the problem. If it's not approved, then they'll have to move it or tear it, demo it. So that's kind of where we're at. They don't always get solved in court like you think they would.
Again, my reason for opposing this, when contractors do things that are illegal or unethical, there's never any consequence, and we don't have the ability to make them comply with the law. The only way to put any teeth in the law is to, on occasion, deny a request. In this case, there's clearly a hardship. I'm convinced that the applicant was acting in good faith. It's not a criticism of the applicant, but the builder gets a pass, and all the honest builders are punished. So that's my reason.
They get a free pass, and the property owners are the ones being punished in some form or fashion, even if it's in the minimum. At minimum, it's the fee to come in here and the heartache and all the other stuff that has to go to it, but. I hear everything you're saying. I wish there was some teeth to it.
So, board members, I thank you for your testimonies. Mr. Jordan, you ready to make a motion?
I want to say something.
Quickly, please.
I just want to say that certainly, again, I'm not a lawyer, but I thought I've heard them on this board before in situations where we tell people, or they say they have legal recourse against the contractor. Isn't that some recourse they do have if they want to use it?
I mean, I'll answer that generally. Yes, you may have recourse against a contractor, but that's a fact-finding mission for a court. And the starting point of that is, when was it built? Because if this was over 4 years ago, they have no recourse against a contractor.
All right, last comment, Ms. Smith.
I was going to make a motion.
Okay, thank you. Even better. All right. So, thank you.
Can I make a motion to approve a variance in the BZA 0825000894 on the basis that it complies with the variance approval criteria? There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property, with the wetlands to the rear and side, and the and leaving space for the septic yard. Number 2, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. Number 3, because of these conditions, the application of this ordinance to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. Number 4, the authorization of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the zoning district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. I think that since it's an agricultural district, that a shed can be in the front yard in cases where there's a hardship. The number 5, the Board of Zoning Appeals shall not grant a variance, the effect of which would be to allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in a zoning district. I think it complies with number 5. Number 6, the need for the variance is not a result of the applicant's own actions. They attempted to do everything the right way, and they were not asked to get a permit. Number 7, granting of the variance does not substantially conflict with the comprehensive plan or the purposes of this ordinance. And I'd like to also include any staff recommendations.
Thank you. Now that I'm looking this way and hearing this way, I got a second from Mr. Jordan, okay? All right, do we have any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye and raising your right hand. Aye. Any opposed? We have one. It carries. So, ma'am and sir, your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you'll be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Once again, thank you for coming. Congratulations, and good night.
And I just want to clarify something. It's not 4 years, it's 3 years. Their time frame to bring a lawsuit would have been 3 years, other than some contractual relationship.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hewden. So our next case is case BZA 09-25009, 895. Thank you.
Okay.
And Ms. Working will be administering.
Yep. The applicant, Adrian Green of Grantham Homes LLC, representing the property owner Richard A. Hawker, requests a variance to remove a 45-inch DBH diameter at breast height grand live oak tree to accommodate the construction of a proposed single-family residence at 2862 Maritime Forest Drive, which is TMS number 203-12-00126, located on Johns Island in Charleston County. The subject property and adjacent parcels to the south, east, and west are located within the Planned Development PD 72E Kiowa River Estates zoning district. Adjacent properties to the north are located in the low-density residential R4 zoning district. The 0.27 acre property is vacant. The site contains 2 grand trees, the 45-inch DBH live oak per the request that is located near the center of the property, and a 36-inch DBH live oak located near the eastern property line. The 45-inch live oak was rated at grade C by the county arborist and a grade D by the applicant's arborist. This is the ordinance requirement, the 300-foot radius, aerials. We posted the property on September 17th, 2025. This is a picture of the tree. Subject property. surrounding properties. A site plan and the plat. Regarding the approval criteria, we stated that it may meet 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, and that it meets 5. We did get one letter of support from the for this application. The board may approve conditions, or deny the case based on the board's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following conditions recommended by staff. 1, the applicant shall mitigate the removal of the 45 inches by either submitting a mitigation plan for review and approval indicating the installation of canopy trees no smaller than 2 1/2 inches in caliber, equaling inch per inch replacement. B, by depositing funds into the Charleston County Tree Fund as described in section 926 of the ZELDAR. Or C, a combination of both A and B. The lot of mitigation shall be in place prior to its removal. 2, tree barricades constructed of chain link fencing shall be installed around all protected trees within 40 feet of disturbance prior to any construction pursuant to the section 924 of ZELDAR. 3, the applicant shall retain a certified arborist to monitor and treat all grand trees within 40 feet of disturbance through the duration of construction. The applicant shall provide a copy of the tree preservation plan to zoning and planning staff for review and approval prior to zoning permit approval for construction. Questions?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Working. I have a question here from Mr. Nelson first.
Thank
and
you.
Then we'll come down to that end.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Working. 2 questions. One, just to confirm, we've got conditional approval from the Architectural Review Committee for the neighborhood.
Correct.
For removal of the tree. Mm-hmm. And then 2, if this tree would have been graded a D by the county, they would not have needed the variance, correct?
I don't think so. I know definitely the Fs do not.
Okay.
But yeah, Kyle disagreed with the their evaluation. His evaluation was a C+.
Do we know why there was a discrepancy between how the applicant's arborist graded the tree?
No.
And okay, all right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I can never get one past Mr. Nelson. That is exactly the question. I was going to ask staff arborist on how could there be a discrepancy between a C+ and a D on trees. That's why. Is there 2 different reports that we have get to review, or did we review, or anything like that?
I see discrepancies quite frequently, so it wouldn't be surprising.
Is there anything in your report versus their report that is glaring that shows up or anything?
Well, no, but I would tend to trust Kyle more, so.
Okay. Great answer. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anyone else with a question for staff?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
We can confirm one thing, it's not an A or a B, correct?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a lot of C+ that was close to A.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Working. Is the applicant present? All right. Please state your name and address for the record, and please tell us why we should approve your application.
My name is James Morrissey. I'm representing Adrian Green, Grantham Homes. My address.
If you would. There you go.
And my address is 112. It's Covey Court. It's Goose Creek, South Carolina. It's 29445. Thank you for having me today. We really appreciate your time. It's a long evening for everyone. Kind of wanted to go over and address the conditions and criteria for the variance approval. I know it kind of comes down to some of the grading trees, but there are some other items to take into consideration. One, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to the particular piece of property as follows. This lot is located on Kiowa River Estates. It's a gated single-family community located in the southern tip of Johns Island. The lot itself is in its original undeveloped condition, meaning it does contain a dense number of mature trees not typically found on some of the adjacent lots and some of the developed lots that are nearby. The Kiowa River Estates requires any new home to be at least 2,400 heated square feet. That's a substantial minimum that affects the home placement and design. I did bring a copy of the ARC guidelines for you to review for that record, if need be. Finally, the centrally located tree does create a unique physical barrier to building a home that meets these criteria of the minimum square footage required by the ARC. For 2, these conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity as shown by, unlike other lots in KRE, which have been developed over time, this lot does remain one of the few original undeveloped parcels. Developed lots have already been cleared in accordance with historic standards. They may have been a little more lax during their time of clearing as well. This lot is unusual because of its large number of significant trees and its natural state. The hardships faced on the lot do not apply to neighboring properties that were previously developed. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to the particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property as follows. We have worked through multiple sets of home designs intelligently with the ARC in an effort to save the centrally located tree while meeting the stringent ARC guidelines that they require. But there is no feasible way to build without removing this D-grade tree, according to our arborist report, which per the tree report is noting decay, cavity, canker, dead wood, and root defects on the tree. Without removing the tree, the lot is effectively unbuildable. We cannot comply with the strict ARC size requirements and construct a home within the buildable area without removing the tree. This ordinance would prohibit any reasonable use of the property, turning it into an unusable lot within the development. 4, authorization of a variance will not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property or to the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by granting the variance for the following reasons. Granting this request will not harm the neighborhood. It's going to enhance it. It's a beautiful home that establishes a precedent within the neighborhood to the strict ARC standards. The poorly graded tree poses a risk and detracts from the health and the aesthetics of the lot. Its removal will improve the appearance and safety of the property in the adjacent area. We are committed to preserving 2 other significant grand oaks that are on the site, including a 36-inch live oak and a 16-inch live oak on the lot, maintaining the neighborhood's characteristic, its natural beauty, and its privacy as well. We have requested and received ARC variance for a front-load garage in lieu of their normal side-load access in order to assist us in preserving the privacy, minimizing the impact of trees being taken down. We have the ARC's approval in both the house plan design, their approved variance for the garage load, and then also their echoing sentiment, their approval for the removal of the tree itself. Them citing it as a safety concern. There are large dead limbs that could pose a safety risk. The ARC for Kiowa River Estates has evaluated and approved this removal of the tree. We did include the ARC letters for the floor plan approval, tentative approval, and then the recommendation for the tree. I do have copies of those as well, if needed. 5, the BZA shall not grant a variance, the effect of which would be allowed to the establishment or not otherwise permitted in the zoning district. This essentially does not, the request does not meet that criteria.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
So let's see if anyone has a question for you. I'm going to start with Mr. Brown.
Curious if you made any requests or investigated any requests to the ARC, is that what it's called out there?
Yes, sir.
That review board to reduce the requirement of the 2,400. Did you investigate a smaller footprint, a smaller plan, some way to?
We did create an overlay essentially on the tree report to try to figure out what the minimum square footage that we could build without tree removal. Their minimum is 2,400 square feet, heated square footage. I believe the overlay, which I have a copy that I can supply to you, it is 800 square foot on the first level. It's extremely small. It's nowhere even near close, and that's with us preserving the tree and requesting a variance on the garage side too. So
I got you. So you made some attempts to see what smaller something might fit on there. That's just what I was curious about. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, to me, this is a pretty slam dunk case of, I mean, you got a massive tree that's in the middle of a lot, and you're trying to build, you're not trying to build an unreasonable house. So really it just comes down to, you know, what other due diligence did you do? You just told my fellow commissioner that you tried to build a smaller house, smaller footprint. It's not really within the guidelines. You're moving the garage load to the front to help stuff. So you're doing the due diligence that we ask. We don't have a, you know, set of people that are against this. Obviously, people don't want to lose trees. I was curious about the difference between a C+ and a D. In my time on here, I hadn't seen that, but I guess, you know, if I look at something one way and he looks at another one the same way, a different way, that happens. So I was interested. My only question really is the ARC. Do they have any preference on the mitigation plans? Have the applicants thought about what their mitigation plans? Are they trying to replace some things with some trees along the front, or is there anything that could go along to show that?
Normally, we work closely with the ARC. They're a very stringent development as far as landscaping plans. We normally have to have their approval on landscaping plans as well. I do not have a definitive plan as of yet, as we're trying to intelligently modify the floor plan, modify the fitment.
No, I understand. And you've testified in your application that you're trying to save the other trees. So I was just, I'd say if there was coordination could be done so that you're not just writing a check and putting it into the tree bank. If there's some stuff that needs to be done, enhanced in that community or enhanced on that lot, that should be taken apart. But from my standpoint, I think this is classic. You have a hardship. You've got a lot with a 48-inch tree right in the middle of it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Just
Mr.
to
Brown,
clarify on that,
Sure.
They are going to require approval of a landscape plan by a landscape architect as well. I'm assuming in that neighborhood?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so any mitigation trees, that is an opportunity to incorporate that in a plan. So
Definitely.
okay.
Yep.
Mr. Nelson, excuse me.
Mr. Green, since we've been in the business of commending people in their applications today, your presentation this evening and sticking to the criteria is much appreciated. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else? Question? Thank you so very much for your testimony.
All right. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Do we have anyone else to speak in favor? Do we have anyone to speak in opposition?
Turned down.
Thank you. This case is closed to the public. Board members, do we have any questions of staff? Any general discussion? Therefore, I need a motion.
I've got one comment, and the irony is not lost on me. It's more of a rhetorical question. But if we had a unscrupulous contractor come cut down this tree, no permit, no.
They would get fined and go to court.
And
Yeah.
it'd be about where we were with the last case.
Well, they weren't fined. That's what we.
There wouldn't be any consequence. He'd be gone, and nothing ever happens.
No, they would
That's
be
my-
fined. Trust me.
That's my problem.
And
is-
they wouldn't come to this board because we're not doing variances for tree mitigation either. If they're going to court, straight to court.
Well, we ought to treat everybody the same way if we're going to do that. But that's just my. I'm going to vote in favor of this.
You're saying we should have gave them a ticket for putting the shed?
I didn't hear you.
You said when they turned themselves in saying they built the shed, we should have given them a ticket?
I'm saying that we ought to treat everybody the same way, feed everybody out of the same spoon of justice, and not prefer some over others. And that irony is not lost on me.
Okay.
That treat everybody the same way. That's just my comment. I'm in favor of this application.
Thank you for your comments. All right, so at this time, we need a motion to approve or deny this application. Do we have one? Mr. Brown?
Make a motion. I make a motion to approve BZA case 0925000895 based on the criteria required of the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance, or ZELDAR. Number one, there are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to this particular piece of property based on the tree location, the grade of the tree, and the limits on what you can build on that piece of property. These conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity. We heard that a lot of these number of and size of trees is unique to this particular piece. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to this particular piece of property would not prohibit or unreasonably restrict utilization of the property, and that would happen if we deny this request. The authorization of a variance will not be a substantial detriment to the adjacent property or public good. They're going to have a nice house on the property and part of the community in that area. The Board of Zoning Appeals shall not grant a variance, the effect of which would allow establishment of use otherwise permitted. I mean, it's just removing a tree so they can build a house. The need for the variance is not a result of the applicant's own actions. I'm pretty sure they didn't plant the tree, so I think we're okay there. And granting of the variance does not substantially conflict with the comprehensive plan. So, also incorporating the 3 staff suggestions as well.
Very
That's
good.
my motion.
Very good. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Say again. Okay. You got a shout out this time. Okay, I heard this one over here.
Let Mr. Nelson have it. Let Mr. Nelson have it. He beat me to that first question.
Okay. Any general discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye and raising your right hand. Aye. All opposed? There's one opposed. Okay, good. It carries. So congratulations, sir. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you will be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Once again, congratulations and good night. Okay, we're getting close, sir. All right, our next case will be done by Mr. Hare. Next 2 cases. Case BZA 09-25-00-896.
The applicant and property owner, Edward Lamanna, is requesting a special exception to establish a short-term rental property extended home rental at 1109 Hillside Drive, TMS number 418-06-00090 in the St. Andrews area of Charleston County. The subject property, along with adjacent parcels to the east and the south, are situated within the low-density residential R4 zoning district. Properties to the north and the west fall under the jurisdiction of the city of Charleston. According to the Charleston County records, this property contains a single-family residence with 3 bedrooms constructed in 1954. The applicant proposes to utilize the residence as an extended home rental by making all 3 bedrooms available for rent, providing 5 on-site parking spaces in compliance with the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance ZELDAR, and accommodating a maximum of 6 guests. As the property is not owner-occupied, it does not qualify for a limited home rental, and it must be reviewed as an extended home rental in accordance with ZELDAR requirements. This is the zoning ordinance section pertaining to the STRs in R4 residential zoning district, the 300-foot radius map, the aerial, zoomed out aerial. We posted the property on September 17th of 2025. Here are pictures of the subject property, single-family residence, and parking. Adjacent surrounding properties, Hillside Drive, Mazik Street, the site plan, tenant notice, and the plat. Regarding the 3 approval criteria, staff stated that it may meet criteria 1 through 3. The Board of Zoning Appeals may approve with conditions, or deny case based on the BZA's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following conditions recommended by staff. 1, prior to the zoning permit approval, the applicant shall complete the STRP limited site plan review process. The use shall comply with all requirements of Article 6.8. 3, the property shall not be used as a short-term rental for more than 144 days in aggregate during any calendar year. 4, the property owner shall be responsible for ensuring that tenants comply with the Charleston County noise ordinance. Any questions?
Any questions of staff? Thank you, Mr. Hare. Is the applicant present? You were hiding back there. I couldn't see but the top of your head. Please state your name and address.
Edward Lamanna.
Okay. Please tell us why we should approve your application, sir.
So it's a wonderful house in a great neighborhood for families to rent. I purchased this house with my family because we just absolutely love Charleston, and we do plan to relocate here. But with kids in school right now, we are unable to move into it yet. So in the meantime, since we're cohabitating, we'd like to be able to rent it out to similar families. It's perfect for it. 2 bedrooms with queen beds, and a kid's room with bunk beds. Ample room for parking. No one will ever be parking on the street. We fenced in the backyard, so kids can play in the backyard. Pets can run without disturbing the neighbors or anything like that. It's just the neighbors that we've met have been absolutely wonderful and welcoming. And we are using a local property manager, Brandon Hayden with Cobble and Key Property Management. It's a great company, full service. They've been there with us every step of the way. I didn't ask them to come here for this. But yeah, I just think that it's a great use of the location. And as you can see on the property as well, the lot behind it is completely vacant right now. So we anticipate that it's going to be primarily families renting the property.
Okay. Have you ever lived in the house, sir?
Yes. So we spent most of the summer at the house. We're in the house right now. And we've, since we purchased the home in May, we've probably been in the house for a total of 2.5 months, my wife, and then myself, a month.
Okay. And I'll get to you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Why not do long term? Have one family there.
We want to be able to use it. We want to be down here we're coming back for Thanksgiving. We're going to spend Christmas here. We've joined a church down here. We want to be down here as much as possible, but when we're not here, we want people to rent it, to help us cover the cost of it and to enjoy it as well.
And where's home again?
It's in New York.
New York.
Yeah. And we drive down, so we really like it.
No judging.
Okay. I'm going to start over here with Mr. Jordan.
Yeah.
Question: who does the neighbors call at 3 a.m.?
Say that again?
Who does the neighbors call at 3 a.m. with a problem?
That would be Brandon Hayden at Cobble and Key Management.
Well, I figured you would say that, but does his recorder answer, or somebody going to answer?
No, he answers the phone.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. It's not his only property, but he has told me that he's available 24/7.
If he hears the recorder.
No, if the phone rings, either himself or someone else.
You can tell I don't like recorders. When it's time to conduct business.
And that's who's local, but I will answer the phone. My number will be on there as well.
It'll be a long drive for you to come down.
No, but yeah, but he has assured me that that's part of the, and we're paying a nice percentage of the rental income to make sure that he will.
What part of New York?
Westchester County.
My wife from Albany.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mr. Lamanna, thank you so much for your time and for driving all the way down here to participate in this public process.
That was a pleasure.
One point of clarification that I want to ask, I hate to even raise this potential can of worms, but your application asked for 8 maximum occupancy, but our staff write-up says 6.
Oh, yeah, so the initial application was filled out incorrectly. Jennifer emailed me about that, and she updated it to 6. I'm totally fine with that.
All right. Good deal. Thank you. That's my only question. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my only question is, you answered half of it with the property manager, but have you reached out to the neighbor? Because you said the neighbor behind you, there's nobody there. It's a vacant lot. But the neighbor on the lower side, whatever, it's not up here, lot number 25 on the plat, have you notified them that you're doing short-term rental and giving them their your property manager's phone number, aware of noise ordinances and stuff like that? I mean, these are the things that we want to make sure is not a detriment to the neighborhood is one of the criteria. So we want to make sure that that's
I understand.
being addressed
I
on the
haven't
front.
provided them with the property manager's information, but we're very aware of the noise ordinance. We're a pretty low-key family. We plan on having quiet hours at the house as part of the rental agreement when people use it. As a matter of fact, to kind of discourage, party crowds. We're not allowed to do this. My wife actually said she doesn't want to rent it to men.
Well, nobody's going to put in their rental application that they're going to have a massive party there, so you're going to find that out by surprise. So what we'd like to do is for you, when you hire a property manager, is tell your surrounding neighbors, hey, if there are problems, because we're not here and we're in New York, this is who you contact, this is who you call, instead of having to look up a website and find out what's going on and bothering the county officials with what's going on. So
Right.
that's
This is
just
my
a,
first time doing it.
Yeah, no,
It
that's fine.
occurred
That's
to me,
just
but
that's a
that's a good
suggestion
idea.
for you to make things smoother so you don't have any issues down the road. But yeah, it sounds like you're doing everything right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Thank you so very much for your testimony.
Thank you.
All right, I take it y'all for the next case. So, there's no one else. Anyone else in favor? No. Anyone else in opposition? No. Okay, case closed to the public. Board members, do we have any questions of staff? Do we have any general discussion? I'd like to get a motion to either deny or approve this application. Yes, sir.
I'll
see your
make a
hand.
motion. I'd be pleased to make a motion to approve this special exception for short-term rental, extended home rental. The jurisdiction and notice are proper. The law is contained in Chapter 6 of Zelda. The criteria are set forth in 6.8.2C, 1 through 3. All those requirements have been met. This is compatible with existing uses in the vicinity, will not adversely affect others. There's adequate provision has been made for setbacks, buffering, parking, and such, and so that others will not be adversely impacted. This complies with all applicable rules, regulations, and laws. I would make this motion to approve subject to the 4 conditions that have been recommended by staff.
Very good. Do I have a second? Ms. Smith, thank you. All right. Once again, any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye and raising your right hand. Aye. Aye. It is unanimous. I see the top of your head, but there we go. Congratulations, sir. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, staff will let you know the next steps in the process. Once again, congratulations and good night, sir. Thank you for your time. All right. Last but not least, Mr. Hare, let's roll on down. So case BZA 09-25-00897.
The applicant and property owner Jason Fabrizio of Rolina Investments LLC requests a special exception to establish a short-term rental property extended home rental at 2359 Rifle Range Road, TMS number 577-0000009 in the east area of Charleston County. The subject property and adjacent properties to the south and the west are located within the Special Management S3 zoning district, while the property to the east is located in the Agricultural Preservation AG10 zoning district, and the properties to the north are within the jurisdiction of the town of Mount Pleasant. According to the Charleston County records, the property contains a single-family residence with 2 bedrooms constructed in 1953. The applicant proposes to utilize the residence as an extended home rental by making all 2 bedrooms available for rent, providing 4 on-site parking spaces in compliance with the Charleston County Zoning and Land Development Regulations Ordinance, ZELDAR, and accommodating a maximum of 4 guests. As the property is not owner-occupied, it does not qualify for a limited home rental and must be reviewed as an extended home rental in accordance with ZELDAR requirements. This is the zoning ordinance section pertaining to SCRs in the S3 Special Management Zoning District, the 300-foot radius map, the aerial, the zoomed out aerial. We posted the property on September 16th of 2025. Pictures of the single family residence, the parking, pictures of adjacent properties, Rifle Range Road, Tarrington Lane, the site plan, tenant notice, and the plat. Regarding the 3 approval criteria, staff stated that it may meet criteria 1 through 3. The Board of Zoning Appeals may approve with conditions, or deny case based on the BZA's findings of fact unless additional information is deemed necessary to make an informed decision. In the event the board decides to approve the application, the board should consider the following conditions recommended by staff. 1, prior to the zoning permit approval, the applicant shall complete the STRP limited site plan review process. 2, the use shall comply with all requirements of Article 6.8. 3, the property shall not be used as a short-term rental for more than 144 days in aggregate during any calendar year. 4, the property owner shall be responsible for ensuring that tenants comply with the Charleston County noise ordinance. Any questions?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you pull up the aerial, either the aerial or the, I'm looking at the property next door, really. I think it's Hamlin. I'm trying to understand which side of Rifle this is on and what is, I don't know if it's south or north, because I don't know which way of Rifle Range Road this is. So
if you're going towards Allendale,
hold on, can you skip to, it's not this one.
you want to see,
Oh, yeah, right there. Either one of those. So which way are we going? If we're going this way, which way is this?
that would be west, would it not? Like southwest? Southwest if you're going this way.
Southwest. Well, now I'm really confused. Because I'm trying to understand what this parcel is.
If you're going up Rifle Range towards Allendale, the property sits on the right.
Okay. We'll get there. So we don't know what that property is. It says Hamlin LLC. Is that a future development over there? Is it?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so that's yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out what was over. I mean, it really doesn't matter for this application. I'm just trying to understand what that was because it's still a zoning pocket. Okay, that's fine. And Cultivation Lane goes to where?
Marsh.
Does that go all the way out to the marsh?
Towards Isle of Palm.
It goes towards Isle of Palm. Okay, well, now I know exactly where it is. Okay, thank you. That's exactly what I needed to know. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and that's AG 10, so it's one dwelling per 10 acres.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not far. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hare. Yes, sir. Please come before us and please state your name and address for the record.
My name is Jason Fabrizio. I live at 2414 Ion Avenue, Sullivan's Island, South Carolina. Thank you. Not too many people will probably thank you for going last, but I will as a father of four, and that's my oldest daughter, Nina, who's going to help me manage this property. And one of the things I wanted her to learn about the process of how this gets done. So there's not too many 25-year-olds that probably would spend their Monday night in front of your board BZA meeting, but having it last actually was a positive thing here for her to see all the different interactions. First of all, we'd like to do this. Initially, we bought the piece of property, and our initial thought was to demo the house. We then decided, her mother and I, her mother persuaded me a little bit that the house actually has really good bones, is well taken care of, and it may be an opportunity for her or one of my other three children at some point to be able to reside in the community and in an affordable manner. She's not at the position right now to be able to afford to maintain the house for herself, but hopefully her or one of the other kids shortly would be there. So that's why we're asking for this special exemption, is to be able to keep the property, keep it intact, have her help me with some renovation aspects that we'd like to do to the property. Interior kind of just tweaking here or there. And we'd like to have that income to be part to maintain the house in its current state, maybe even improve it somewhat so that maybe at some point people are ready to take the home over and purchase the house, or I'm sure at a reduced negotiated rate from her mother and I. So that's really why we'd like to do it. There is, it's an ideal location for a rental. Across the street is the brand new county park. No neighbors. The big AG10 piece of property is I'm not sure what they do over there. It's a large working farm, and part of it is like a chipping area. So there's quite a lot of noise during the day when they're chipping up stuff, stumps and trees and whatever, mulch. I'm not sure what it is. And then the Cultivation Lane that you asked about, that goes back to the Liberty Hall subdivision. There is a Airbnb catty corner to our property that was just redone. The gentleman was actually here earlier. He had to go. He was going to speak in favor of it, but he couldn't wait any longer. So those are everything I really have to say, to be quite honest.
All right, thank you. So I see she's smiling now. But only when you said rate, that meant money. So that's what a 24 or 5-year-old would do.
Yeah.
No offense. But I take it that, and I'm making an assumption that you never lived in the house.
Correct.
Okay. And you've had it for how long now?
How long have we had it?
Yes, sir.
I think we purchased it in July.
Okay.
July or August. Yeah.
And so there was
not
no,
too long, June or July.
Okay, that's very good. So no consideration doing long term.
It's just, unfortunately, with the tax structure and what we paid for the property, it wouldn't, doing long term probably wouldn't support just taxes and the insurance alone.
Okay.
The other thing I did want to say, save your question, is I'm a registered or licensed real estate broker. I've been for over 20 years.
Yeah, for who?
We own a Isle of Palms rental house. We've had that for over 15 years. We manage these things ourselves. My phone is available 24/7. So, and I live 10 minutes away.
What's the name of your company?
It's called Rolina Homes. Rolina Homes. It's Carolina, well, it's CA.
Okay.
And of course, I have my assistant too. She'll handle the 3 o'clock calls.
She has a license?
She doesn't yet, but she can go over there and tell people to be quiet.
Okay, now. All right. Any questions on this side? Oh, boy. All right, Mr. Brown, we'll start with you.
Maybe I didn't hear about it, but there's another home on the property. Is that active, or is there something going on with that separate from? It looks like a mobile home or something listed on the site plan.
There is so we're trying to, and she is looking into it more so, and we're reaching out to some neighbors to figure out of what we understand. And this is another unique aspect of the property. When we first bought it, we were going to think about taking all these down. But the middle property is like a garage-looking structure. And we come to find out that back in the day when this property the area was much less developed, that was like the neighborhood kind of store for the neighborhood area. So for the 6 Mile area, that was a store that was serviced the area. It has one area that towards the back that has much higher ceilings, like 20-foot ceilings with a big hook on it, and I'm told that's where certain animals were processed.
Oh, okay.
For the neighborhood. So we're looking at, after we get done with this aspect, my wife and I are going to look at probably doing something with that piece of property also.
So it's not part of any of this or part of the rental?
It's there. It's existing. It's not.
Well, sure, but it's not.
Yeah.
And
it's
just
that
an outbuilding.
would most likely be a personal use type thing. So again, we'd spend more time there policing if there was any issues in the area.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you pull up the aerial so you can see what I'm referencing? One more. Yeah, right there. So I guess Tarrington Lane, is that a public road or is that a shared property rights between a neighborhood type thing?
So I believe it is a county-maintained dirt road.
Tarrington Lane?
Yes. So
because I see the property behind your property uses that to access, because you can see the driveway comes off of right in the lower corner.
Yeah,
so,
and actually, if there was a bigger shot, that road kind of towards me turns kind of like a J,
yeah,
and it services another property, kind of.
Yeah. So you're accessing your property off of Tarrington Lane?
Correct. That first curb cut you see.
Right. So you believe that's the county road?
I'm like 99% sure, because the county, and the only reason I say that for sure is because the county was in there the other day laying sand and
that's good. That's what
planing it.
I was just making sure we weren't giving access easement to a shared road for the neighborhood or something like that. That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Thank you so very much for your testimony, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Did Daddy do all the talking?
You want to say anything? It's your opportunity.
All right, now you got to earn your keep, right?
I'm Nina Fabrizio.
Your address?
2414 Ion Avenue. I'm back at home. I was living downtown, but saving money. The only thing I can really add to what my dad said is, growing up and being from here and wanting to continue to live here and hopefully have a family in this area one day. Obviously, things have gotten very expensive, which is good. But, young people like me who are from here and grew up here, and, this 6 Mile was one of my bus stops on the way to Wando every morning. We'd like to come back and live in these areas where we grew up. So personally, I prefer when I see properties, instead of being torn down and a new $1 million house built, like they were originally thinking about doing, staying affordable and, so that people my age can continue to live in this great area where we grew up. So that's
Good.
all.
Good for
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question. Were you in the orchestra at Wando?
I was in band. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was in band at Moultrie, not Wando.
Okay. You're the same age as my daughter, and I was just trying to.
Oh, really?
She
What was her
attended
name? It's a big
Summer.
school.
Summer Ray.
Summer Ray.
Yeah. But
It sounds
that-
really
that-
right.
that-
You know,
that wasn't
1,000 kids
professional.
in my
I'm
class.
just having these little flashes as you came a little closer. Board members, anybody have a question? Mr. Jordan.
How about them 3 AM phone calls? You can handle that?
Yes, sir. Like my dad said, they've managed the property on Isle Palms for years, and I mean, I've seen them go over there,
you know what it's
countless
like.
times over the years for lots of emergency phone calls. So I understand what it
That's probably
entails.
a good crash course in property management.
Yes.
Getting out at 3 AM in the morning with some problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you for your testimony tonight.
I just had a comment. I was going to say, Mr. Ray and I are both familiar with the excellent reputation of your business, and this is an ideal place for a short-term rental from my perspective.
Thank you.
Couldn't be better.
Mr. Brown, you want to say something?
No, I just have allergies and cleared my throat. Sorry.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so very
I'm
much.
ready to go. Here
All
we
right.
are.
There's nobody else in the room, but I'll have to say it anyway for the record. Anyone else to approve? Anyone else speak in favor? There's no one else. Okay. Case closed. Anyone else opposed? Case closed to public. We got hands over here. I can't speak that fast. But go ahead.
I'm just going to make a motion if we're ready to go.
Motion.
I'll be glad
I
to
guess
make a motion.
Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. I'll
Either way.
second.
For BZA case 0925-00897 to establish a short-term rental. I can follow, I think, right here. I make a motion that we approve. This case is compatible with existing uses in the vicinity, will not adversely affect welfare character. I believe we've established that. For number 2, adequate provisions been made for setbacks, buffering. I believe based on the size of the property and everything, we can handle that as well, and complies with all applicable rules, regulations, laws, and standards of this ordinance. I believe this meets all those requirements as well. So my motion is to approve that along with the 4 recommendations by staff.
Very good. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Chuslow, thank you. All right. Any questions? Any discussion? Okay. We're carried into a vote. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye and raise your right hand. Aye. It is unanimous. It carries. Very good. Congratulations, young lady. Your application has been approved. Within 10 days, you will be getting information from staff letting you know the next steps in the process. Once again, congratulations and good night.
Mr. Chair, does anybody beside me and the applicant know why the community, and you, I think, know why it's called 6 Mile?
Yes. Well, okay.
Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
6 miles from the river.
All right. Ms. Working?
From Mount Pleasant.
All right. Just want to say a couple of things about our last meeting, just to inform you guys. The no-show we had, he was literally just a no-show. Yeah. Like, because I had emailed that night, and he didn't write back, and Cole called him. He didn't want to do it anymore. So. Thank you for wasting my time, your time, everyone's time. Okay, so that was that. So that one's going away. They can't apply again for another year. So. And then the one you denied with the pool, he's revising his plans. So to get the pool and fence fit. The one that you deferred for the side and front setback, he changed his plans, and I've got him on the November agenda. So he's the one old business case. He revised it to make it less of a variance on the side and no variance in the front. Just want to let you know, because it's kind of funny, like some of these things that happen after the meeting. It's like,
Will we have the old application or at least an old drawing of what he changed it from?
I can do that.
As a reference, so
Yeah.
we might hit a nerve and remember what we did.
Yeah. I can do that.
That would help.
Yep, sure. And then just like in general, I was going to ask, because I'm getting the schedule ready for next year. I usually have that ready for you at the November meeting. I provide you a copy of the draft schedule. Would you guys want to just start at 4 instead of going back and forth? And then we would only start at 5 on the months that were the second Monday of the month. So like September would be 5 o'clock because we have planning commission. Yeah. So I don't know your thoughts, or if you guys want to email me your thoughts.
I don't like getting home at 9 o'clock, but
Yeah.
this is much better.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate that, it's not unfortunate, it's good that Charleston County is growing, but it seems like we've been slammed with 10 cases every
Yes.
meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to get away with it unless we have 2 meetings.
Yeah.
So I don't see where we're going to have a choice.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, and we make it, we make
Okay.
it.
So that's the new standard then, we're saying, is 4 o'clock?
Well, I'm asking, yeah, because I'm getting the schedule ready for next year for you guys to look at, and I'll also have you look at the times that the second falls on, because sometimes like July, it's kind of close to the 4th, but yeah, so we just can talk about those and make sure. I just want to make sure people are willing to come. At least we have 5 people.
I don't see a problem with it. Does
Okay.
anyone see a problem meeting at 4? Very good.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if this is part of the official thing or not, but on all of these cases, it would be very helpful to have a location map within the county of some degree. Could we add that to the...
Further out, yeah.
Yeah, so it shows, it doesn't need to be the entire county because it's so long.
If you look at Folly Road, it could be anywhere on Folly Road. It
but
could be close to Folly Beach. Or it
Yeah.
could be
Yeah, okay.
Right there.
Yeah,
at
can we
the
get
top of
some
the
kind of
top.
location with some,
Great point.
something that can help us locate
Like a
where it
little
is?
star where, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it. And then everyone I know is going to complete their training. I'll have more information tomorrow about the council training because I don't know a lot about it yet. But
Does that count for training stuff that we have to do for an hour? Does that count towards our...
that's a good question. That's something I'm going to ask tomorrow.
Lawyer, does that count?
I don't know what they're doing, so I need to.
I don't have to.
I'll ask them tomorrow.
That would be good.
It'd be nice if we get credit for an hour.
I agree, but I just don't know yet. I need to talk to them, and we're doing the training, I guess, tomorrow as staff. We're doing.
Thank you.
We'll see.
Thank you all.
We'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Excellent meeting as usual.
And I love your every bit of it. Thank you.